Well, are they still incarcerated, or did she release them?
She released them.
I thought she did. I wasn't 100% sure.
But said that they could not have free reign of the palace.
They have to be supervised.
Yeah, I'm very qualified to do that.
I think Stell volunteered for that.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Eldermythe. It's quiet in here tonight.
Shh.
Crickets.
Be quiet.
We're hunting wabbits.
Hunting players.
Oh, they're coming.
Mind flayers? What?
No. Nope.
Some of us are here.
Some of us are here.
I'm here.
And
The
others
chips
will
are
be
here.
joining us shortly, we hope. Some might be hanging out in the driveway. Who knows what's going on? I'm Eric. Hi. You can find me on Twitter at ericmillett.com. That's ERIKMILLETT.com. Website.
What? I was
Something
like,
or
wait,
other.
what?
Also on Twitter.
At website?
Eric Millett, same spelling without the .com. You can also find me on Twitter as Killior, Killior.
Old man Killior.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Spelling. And tomorrow we'll do colors.
And the letter K and also the color blue.
The color blue.
Yeah.
It's root beer.
We got a new light.
We got a new light.
We did.
Let there be light.
You
And
may
there
notice
was.
that tonight's lighting is a little bit more amber in hue.
Amber.
Amber.
Do not adjust your
It's
screens,
like
your television
nice.
sets.
It makes my eyeballs happier.
I
I hear Aryeh.
hear Aryeh pulling up as well. You can hear him a block away.
You can hear him 2 blocks away at the train station.
He's got some
I love
busy
it.
mufflers on that car.
Or
He's very
non-existent.
sneaky. He's stealthy in that one.
So you're watching. We're a D&D 5e live stream. Actually, it's just a home game that we have people who are remote for that we decided to start broadcasting because why not? We have the cameras, so why not do it?
You can do it.
We got a whole bunch of old episodes. Basically, we're set in an alternate reality of Faerun. Actually, we're no longer in Faerun at this point. We are now in the mythical land of Serahn, which is a world that Jen has created, and I have been helping her world build.
Wait, isn't Faerun also mythical?
No, it's factual.
Technically?
I mean, Faerun is magical. I believe Faerun is the magical to the mythical Serahn. So it's a mythical, magical menagerie of
Mr.
made-up words.
Mistopheles.
That word, I do not think it means what you say it
What
does.
do you think it means? Yeah.
Inconceivable!
We're in Serahn rap.
to my your right.
Hi. Oh,
Hi.
Oh, do I do that? I'm talking.
You
now.
can do, yeah, you can
Hi,
do the
I'm
introduction.
Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
It's been 30 days since
2
my last.
seconds since I had some wine. No.
Believe that.
Hey. I play Moritar, the tiefling-ish sorcerer. Ish. He's
Ish?
not technically. It's complicated.
In
Anyway,
Serahn, you would be called a
a
demon, spawn.
Hey. That seems.
That's not much better.
It is. Chief is not a nice word. Anyway.
I got them in my mouth.
You can
Teeth.
find me on Twitter at Militant and on Facebook at Militant Cosplay and Illustration.
And what do you do at Militant Cosplay and
I-
Illustration?
I do precisely what the name says. I do cosplay and illustration. Make props, do
I
some
don't know.
costumes, you know.
Use some glue.
I use hot glue. Lots of glue and foam and epoxy and fumes.
Breathe those fumes in once in a while.
I have a respirator and a ventilation system now.
And wine.
For when you don't want to breathe the fumes.
Yes.
Yeah, if I so choose to not breathe the fumes.
And actually, I think Eric and I were discussing having something like if there was no movement in your studio for a while, that it immediately opens the windows and sets the ventilator on.
Home automation at its
Oh,
best.
that's a good idea. So, like, if I pass out from
Right.
it, everything automatically comes on.
Yeah,
That seems like a
in case you forget.
Yeah.
Sounds the alarm.
Calls 911 because I could have also cut off a limb.
Yeah.
We'll assume that you were moving. All right, so to your left.
I am Peter Delios. I play Shalfan, aka also Bemis,
Shelly.
and also several other characters. He's a very complex person. Angel. He's come back.
Angel.
He's fallen. He's come back to help his friends.
He's fallen and he can't get up.
And I've been a gamer all my life, and I continue to game, and I enjoy being around my friends here. So sometimes you'll find bits and pieces of my personality in my character, because my fallen angel who's back to help his friends, I, Peter Delios, enjoy being around my friends. So, and we have a blast
That would
playing
be
D&D.
awful if you didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I hate all of you.
Oh my God.
I hate being around all of you, so.
These guys again.
As you'll see, the character moves on a little bit. You'll see some of more of my role playing come out a little more when certain effects happen to my character. I'm trying some new dice tonight. The D&D Tomb of Annihilation dice set. So
I can stage those for
made
you.
by who? By Wizards of the Coast.
Hey.
There you go, Wizards of the Coast. We just plugged you.
So you're expecting to be annihilated.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just going to say
Annihilation
annihilation dice.
I'm using
can't-
my smoky translucent dice,
I'm
because that
using
is your souls going to
several.
apparate from your bodies tonight.
It's too late to be mine.
Feel free,
Oh,
anybody.
that's why I have the dark D20.
Feel free, anybody
But that's
wants
okay.
to
My game's ready to go.
talk. Oh, wow. Here's what they look like. I didn't open them up yet because boom, boom, boom. I should have drum roll.
Hashtag dice reveal. Let's not hit the table where the microphone
Sorry.
is sitting.
Very fancy cover. Okay.
The green?
You got to hold it up to the camera.
What?
Camera.
Camera. Oh, yeah, camera.
There you go.
Oh.
And they're down.
And then
Oh,
one's out.
All right,
That's what
they're
they
ruined
look
now.
Now selling incomplete set.
Minus a D4.
Feel free, anybody who wants to talk D&D, come down to my store, Kane's Donuts in Saugus,
Eat
and
delicious
I am
things.
always willing to talk
Yummy.
Dungeons and Dragons at any time.
And maybe someday he'll actually use
Bring
his
some
Twitter
donuts.
handle
Yes.
at Donut Pete.
That's
Which is
right. I do have a
amazing.
Twitter handle.
It's amazing.
I never get on all these multimedias. I am on Facebook. You guys can catch me on Facebook.
All right. To our remote players, first in the room, we see Dawn. So, Dawn, why don't you go ahead and give us a little intro of who you are and your character?
Hi, I'm Dawn, and I play Ivy, a.k.a. Lura, who is the daughter of Moritar. She's a changeling,
We renamed her.
and she's a bard who has had a pretty rough childhood and is looking to get some payback.
All right. Now we can hear you. I'm sure the internet could hear you. I just had
They actually could, yeah. I could hear her, so
Cool, cool.
Okay, good.
she doesn't have to repeat that.
No.
All right. And take two. No, just kidding. Jason.
So I am Jason. I play Stell, who is a halfling arcane trickster / ranger, a.k.a. the Weasel, a.k.a. Bow Guy.
Okay.
On Twitter, I am at Sequel Cowboy. Not very interesting on Twitter. Don't tweet about too much except during the Tony Awards. So not all that exciting. I don't make donuts. I don't make cosplay. I don't make swords or knives. I'm just kind of a guy.
Just kind of a guy.
Just the bow guy.
Guy, just a guy.
Just some dude.
That's about it.
As per usual, Antanas is going to be late this evening, and as an added bonus, he's going to be late remote tonight.
Remotely late.
So I will hang on. No, I can't get on a screen real quick to pretend like I'm him remote. So I'm just going to say Antanas is playing a character Arterar. He'll be here at 8:30 in the remote windows in the doobly-doo down below. And he is a cleric / bard who had all of humanity ripped out of him because of the evil creation backstory of his heritage, of his birth.
The humanity.
The huge humanity.
Oh, the lack of humanity. Oh.
Something went boo-doo-doo.
My phone.
Are you sure? Because it sounded like it was the thing, and I have no Jason here and no Dawn there.
But we have Dawn and Jason there.
Yep. There's goes something.
But
I'm
You're
seeing
also-
everything.
Now I can hear you chewing. It's almost like you're too loud. All right, please hold with us.
I can always mute myself while I'm chewing.
That's what. Never mind. Pat, hey, who are you?
Oh, hi. I am Yorvith. No, I'm Pat.
Wait.
I play Yorvith.
You should lean forward so the internet can see you.
Oh.
The internet's over there.
Hello.
the internet's right there.
Never see if it sees me or not. Yes, I am Pat, and I play Yorvith, the Drow Eldritch Knight.
Besides distributing paper towels, what do you do in your off time from D&D? You really look like the dude from Brawny right now.
Wow.
Oh, he is
Sorry.
a lumberjack and he is okay. He sleeps all night.
Works
So,
all day.
Yes.
Sorry, Pat.
Because we love you.
I deserve it.
It's because of beverages.
I only made one. Well, I made it. I'm not going to say it. It's so tempting.
Go for it.
Really?
No.
Other than playing D&D and playing video games, I work at a warehouse. An AV warehouse, actually. So lighting, camera stuff,
And paper towels.
and
paper towels.
Paper towels.
REA.
Caught me.
I am REA, and I play Anaxum, the Demon Slayer, Kokai the Red Sea, the forger of the 3 legendary blades, Kokusho, Shirai Okami, and Kirai Okami. They are imbued with the power of the moon goddess herself. And I am the son of the moon goddess, Tamio, the fabled painted lady, the divine protector of the Moon Clan, the mighty warriors that I hail from. I am one of the legendary members of the Knights of Eldermythe, a protector of Sanctuary. I have traveled across time itself to ensure history, to fight demons, and to seek an end to my ultimate quest, the dark demonic force known as Be'lakor. It is my destiny to destroy him, for it was by his hand that I have been forged, quenched, and tempered. I am the Dark Blade, and I will be the one to deliver his final blow.
Speaking of quench.
Unless I shoot him first.
Thanks for making us look bad.
That's what I'm here for.
That was incredibly dramatic and well done.
And clearly written in front of him.
I'm waiting for the Elmoric bit, though, you know? My quest to find out what Elmoric is really all about. No.
He isn't about anything.
Every time you say you're a demon slayer, it makes me prickle.
What do you do when you're not doing?
Except for you.
What do you do when you're not delivering dramatic lines about your D&D character and looking a bit like Silent Bob?
Hammering metals.
I dramatically hit hot metal into the form of beautiful knives and swords and other pointy things, which are fun.
Pointy objects.
Pointy things are great. You should always have one at your side.
That
my
means he's a
opinion.
blacksmith, and he does really good
I
work.
don't have any pointy things.
Ragnarok Blade Works on Instagram and Facebook. Check him out. Made some really cool hand-forged knives out of some vintage saw blades and saws for my family. Super, super cool work that he does.
Down in Ragnarok.
Down in Ragnarok.
And I also make lightsabers.
Yes, he does. All right, now that we've all
Like
plugged
cherry
in-
ones? Like cherry lifesavers?
No.
Do you actually have the kyber crystal to like?
Yes.
All right. So now that we've all been very silly and introduced who we are, as if you haven't seen that craziness before,
We're gonna stop being silly now.
you've either like, oh good, it's about 20 minutes past 8, so they're done being idiots. Now let's watch them be even bigger
I was
idiots.
gonna say we're never done.
Now we can be idiots in character.
Or you've just sat through 17 minutes of your life that you'll never be able to get back, and I apologize for that.
I make no apologies.
None of us do.
No refunds.
Whence we last left our adventurers, I need the table cleaner.
Goodbye.
Dear snacks.
Bye, snacks. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah.
You were meeting with
We had just met with. Mama.
The big scary
Arish
cat
Gadal.
lady.
She's not. She's awesome.
All right, the small scary cat
No,
lady.
she's big. Sorry.
And she is scary.
The
She's big.
The medium
Her
sized,
promised
insanely
and trusted
scary
advisor,
Oh.
her husband,
Faja,
Kelphus.
Zafaja, and Zamasha.
Is that Thrawn?
I hate you so much. All blue people look the same.
They do.
The D-bag.
Yep.
Jen posted some art on Facebook one time, and it was a picture of one of her
It
blue
was a
blue
Moro.
family members, Morrow. And someone was like, "Oh, it looks like Thrawn," because Thrawn from Star Wars is blue and has red eyes, and apparently all blue people look the same.
All blue people look the same.
And 2 new additions to the family.
Hashtag not all blue people.
Nope, they're brown, actually.
Yeah, they're brown. They look like.
Could you
mama.
arrange the party in your...
We were all.
Probably down here.
We were.
Gilbert was dead. Mostly.
We were talking. They went toward the door.
Actually, I
No.
believe you all went and rested, and we're coming to meet again the
Right.
following...
Yes.
And can you adjust the map cam?
Down or back?
Yep, the way Jen's doing it.
Jen's got it.
Is it good or no?
A little bit
More.
rotated.
No comment.
That's good. Perfect.
Give
Thank
it a
you.
little bit of a twist
A
to the
little to the
side.
left.
Little twist to the side.
It's all about.
It's just a
Well-
left.
It does kind of lean to the left a little, but that's
It's
okay.
all about the angle. It's very important.
It's this leg.
It's all good.
Are we good?
I can see everything.
Yes.
It's
High noon.
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
And this is the moment where I give all of our players a friendly reminder to please
Silence
set your
your-
devices to do not disturb.
Please return your seat.
No,
and
now
tray
is the
tables to their
perfect
upright
time.
positions.
It's
Inconsiderate cell phone man.
God, I'm already off the rails.
That's because I made you that beverage.
It probably is.
I made him the Dick Lightning, guys.
So it's 20 past 8. I'm going to just let you guys on the East Coast. I'm going to just let you know you have an hour and 40 minutes until the new Critical Role episode starts. So stick with us. You might actually
will be over.
You might actually get 15 minutes of worthwhile content to watch.
Aw, boo.
And a whole lot of dick jokes.
Hey!
So
This tastes like grandma.
what is it? I don't want to know.
Tobacco.
Oh God.
Appropriate timing.
All right. So when we last left the party, you had all retired to quarters to rest, and were coming back to meet with Arish Gadal, who had said that in order to defeat the coming menace that is Be'lakor, she needed to consult with the Council of Nine.
No, we're talking about Be'lakor, not Rahman.
9?
Nine.
Council of Nine.
He was.
He's not
Force's
Be'lakor.
ass.
Hashtag spoilers. Ravan is not Be'lakor.
Damn.
We know.
As far as we know.
You need a little ding noise when you wink.
Help me out here. No?
Oh, it doesn't work. There you
What do
go.
you want? I don't know what you want.
And suddenly we're in Sanctuary.
Delivery tonight, guys. Fail on delivery tonight. Shush. All right.
Failing on delivery. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Sorry. Slow on the uptake. Go.
So, as you return to the royal chambers, the receiving chamber,
Aria. Aria.
Not to be confused with me.
you find Moritar, his daughters.
Well, I got one here. The other one had gone to talk with her man.
Yep.
But we're coming back. So that's
Moritar
all
and
right.
his daughter, one of his daughters, and Kadra,
Yeah.
and Stell,
Yeah.
are in the room as the rest of the party approaches. And
Okay.
we'll say, for safety's sake, and for the fact that Antanas is still not yet on, that Marakash and Arterar take up a position to this Ravon side of the throne.
Well, so great. All over here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
With
great.
Marrakesh in front.
I think it would be safe to assume that Arterar would be kneeling.
Arterar is, in fact, not kneeling at this point.
Because he always says that he would.
Mhm.
But whatever.
He usually does, but then he can get
Yeah.
up. It's
So
an initial thing.
He is not kneeling at this point. He has come in, presented himself, bowed graciously to Erishkigal, and has returned to his feet as commanded by his demon lord and savior.
You have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior Rishkal.
Those were the guys in the alley.
Hello, adventurers.
Hi, everybody.
What accent is she going to have tonight?
I
don't know.
know. Let's see. Eartha Kitt and Kathleen Turner. Eartha Kitt, Kathleen Turner.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, God.
It's inflammable.
Hello, adventurers. Is he dead?
A little bit, yeah.
All right. So, are you ready to present your case to the Council of Nine?
I only count 5.
What are you
Does anybody have any duct tape?
talking about?
There's only 5 of them.
That's not what she's talking about.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody have any duct tape?
You'll have to forgive
Hello.
him.
I'm strange to these ways.
You're strange.
He's simple.
Says the bright, good, holy dude with wings.
Could you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
At 18?
18.
Plus 4.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As you think to respond, your lips are in fact bound to themselves.
Praise be to Mama.
Peanut butter.
Still messages Moro. For that, I'd start worshiping her.
you know we can arrange that stuff. I know you're kidding, but that's pretty delightful, isn't it?
I respectfully bow my head down.
Okay. And the bounds on your lips are gone. You can once again freely open your mouth. And hopefully this time will not insert foot.
I'm picturing the scene from The Matrix, and she's going to insert something as belly soon.
Yeah, right.
I continue to keep my head down.
Will they be expecting us?
Yes.
God, I hope so.
I've already sent word. However,
We will be going representing you?
we will be going representing. However,
I greatly appreciate that.
there are a number who have already spoken in ways that leads us to believe that they don't believe your stories.
I can understand that. They have no reason to.
They think it's a ploy from this house to gain favor and power.
It's really not surprising.
But how do we convince them otherwise?
You must
Yes,
speak.
Soon.
to why is this one raising his hand?
It's a
I don't want that to happen.
I was gonna say human custom, but I don't want to. But it's a human custom. It's weird. Because humans are weird.
Custom for what?
Letting others know that they have something to say.
And don't wish to interrupt.
They want to be polite,
Like me when I interrupted
and not
you
like
got mad.
him. They want to be polite.
So he's being polite.
He's being respectful.
Sorry I said that.
The respectful thing would be to wait until I'm done speaking.
You got some peanut butter there? What's going on?
You will present your concerns to the council. Members of the council will wish to probably speak to a few of you who have no affiliations to this family to gain an insight into what, if you are saying, is true or not. Now, human, you may speak. You do not need to raise your hand.
Please don't.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Do the other members of the council have the same hatred for human and drow as certain members of this house do? Will we be welcome?
I cannot speak for them, but there are members of the council who are, in fact, of different lineage and have different histories.
Thank you.
For instance, the Shurus is at one time, was human as well. He's now the great warrior of love. Now, before we go, you must dress appropriately, please.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Why? Why? What if we just send them back and just stay?
Stell definitely face palms at that.
Would that be a problem?
These are the people who are not affiliated with the house that you have to come to speak.
These
On
are the
behalf of your
people
story.
that I was so luckily tossed together with in Faerun.
Speak, strange creature.
Oh, okay. Could
Oh god.
I be the one of the ones that you interviewed?
She's not interviewing anyone.
Oh,
The other deities on the council will be
well, I'm
interviewing
not
people.
from this world, so I could be one that could be interviewed.
Yes, you have no affiliation with this house.
Now,
They
as far
would
as
speak with
disguise,
you.
how would you disguise these?
I would not.
We don't need to disguise. She just
She
wants
doesn't
us
want
to
you
dress
disguise.
better.
Doesn't want you to look like a slob.
Oh, you have clothes for me then.
I could.
Here, put this symbiote on.
I will
Here.
represent you.
Here, put this on. It's black
You
and
will
red.
do nothing of the
I will
sort.
represent-
No, you represent
No, you will not.
yourself,
No.
Shalfan.
No.
You represent yourself, Shelly.
You do.
I will
It's
try to
not you, it's me.
I will try to represent my friends
You
with honor.
represent yourself. Represent yourself.
Okay.
And whatever
Creature, you
weird
seem a bit
things
confused.
Well,
This often happens, milady.
You are a
Confused here.
creature of the light, are you not?
I am.
Then why would you say that you are a pledge to me?
Oh, I didn't say I was pledged to you.
You just did.
I said
You
I
said you would represent me, did you not?
you. Yeah, I guess that's it. I would represent you in the light, as you are.
Do you think if I was
light.
concerned about the light that I would
When
make
you
my
dig
home
up,
underground?
the dirt falls in your face.
Literally, where we live, yes.
Yes. If you dig up, the dirt falls in your face.
Ma'am, you are a magnificent being.
Bemis, or Shalfan, or whatever your name is.
You want me to call him mommy?
Stop digging!
Majesty,
What do we call it, mommy?
Just put on clothes that are not appropriate for war, that are appropriate for peaceful talks. That is all I ask.
I'm wearing.
Preferably fine clothes.
I'm
not.
Literally standing next to Moratar.
So I'm afraid that most of my clothes aren't particularly fine.
This is not the problem. You tell me whatever
we
you
can
want.
just
I can
whip that up. I could just make that happen.
Nice sword. Intact clothes.
I think there's a
fine
few
clothes
hoof holes in them
Yeah,
at the
burn
moment.
marks and-
Burn marks and
You know,
there's lots of blood.
Maybe some.
So where can we change?
Ew.
I don't think your throne room is the appropriate place for us to change our clothes,
Clearly not.
Please, no.
especially not him.
Do that.
I asked not. Thank you. I would say please retire to your places of rest,
Okay.
and please present yourself in 1 hour's time, dressed appropriately, to meet the Greater-Deities of Serahn.
Stop whispering.
I have. I could become a very elven.
Your form is just
It
fine as
doesn't
you are,
matter.
Angel Boy.
Angel boy.
Angel boy.
But is
You are
question he asked,
probably
the
a bit
9?
more convincing as you are in your current state. You do not need to try to use
Don't
magic.
change a thing except your nasty clothes.
Those 9 might not like me.
They will. They're.
You are concerned. Moritar, can you please explain to this?
Well, no, he has a point. They may not like him, but not for the reason he thinks.
I love you.
Your little friend is very, very.
He's
very
very clever.
intelligent.
Yes.
I enjoy his wit
Yes.
and banter.
I do as well.
I can.
I've grown very close to
It's
him.
very intelligent.
Your name is
Stell.
Stell. Yes,
We
we'll
are
leave the
going to
rest
meet
out.
with the
Yes.
Council of
Um,
Deities.
Okay.
When this
There
is all
are
over, maybe you and I
deities
speak
of
about having a
all
little bit.
alike.
Oh, so they might like.
Maybe
We're
you could
fine
help
as
me
you
with
are.
some things.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, sure.
Very good.
I do have a really great alchemical recipe for wine that I think you would probably love.
Interesting. Wine is
So?
one of my favorites.
Scout. I'm a message scout.
You do not need to. I understand what he is saying.
I'm not sure that affects you.
But it might be interesting to see.
Unless I want it.
It affects me.
Yes, it does.
It also might be interesting to see how it affects the rest of your family.
You look over and Ravon is just.
Yes.
It could cheer some people up who are, shall we say, dour.
Do you really wish to sit here and have this conversation?
Kinda do.
Half man.
That's
No,
halfling.
he's a quarter of a man. Hey, I found it.
You don't want to piss him off, Scout. Whenever he
I think
knocks me
that's
down.
for her. Gold handle, red jewel.
Jesus.
Very well. So what are you guys going to do? You're going to stand.
We're gonna
here
go
and
back.
still,
We're
like-
gonna go back to our rooms and change clothes.
Sounds like a good idea.
No.
All right. So you guys make it back to your rooms.
Go back. I'm just gonna put on some.
I don't
I
know
have
what
some fine clothes that I'll put on.
seemed to have come over me out there, but I felt like,
Nervous.
yeah, like
It can be a little nerve wracking.
somebody else. I felt
Dan-
different. I felt different.
You were acting a little
I
different.
felt like I
Naive?
should have been on the ocean.
Ocean.
Yeah.
You are far from the ocean,
Mm.
so.
You
blissfully
need your
far
land
from the
legs back
ocean.
there.
Father, some of your friends are very strange.
tell me about it. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said.
That's one way to put it.
I felt like I wanted to talk
In Spanglish.
in yeah, in Draconic at that moment.
That's
I
interesting.
felt different.
All right. So I need to know what everyone is deciding they are going to wear. This is actually of importance.
I'm gonna wear nothing.
Oh God.
Oh, then you'd be Beavis.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I'm
this sounds
gonna
awful.
wear
Whoa.
just some fine
whoa.
clothes that I have. I have like a really nice like tunic sort of.
We
vest.
should go one at a time. Yeah.
And you know,
I will defer to
pantalones.
Moro's expertise.
Is everything in play here? Basically, can we wear whatever we want?
Yeah, I mean, basically, when you think of it, if you don't have it, she'll create it for you.
Okay.
Yeah. I will wear my shoes,
Okay.
but I'm not going to bring any weapons with me.
Okay.
Because that's, to do that.
That's a moment.
P.S. Don't do that.
I'm going to wear my shiny armor.
She said no armor.
No armor? Oh, well. Okay.
She said don't wear
no armor.
fighting.
Very specifically said don't
okay.
wear.
Well, then I
Don't
will
wear
put
vestments of war.
Okay, well then I will put on a robe. A bright white robe. With gold tassels.
It hurts. It hurts my eyes. It burns.
Any equipment? Any equipment that you're bringing with you?
No equipment.
Okay. Ivy, Laura.
Laura is going to wear a violet dress, nice and fancy.
You're so fancy.
You already know.
White lace trimmings. She's also going to carry her flute with her.
Okay, so white lace trim. You have a flute?
Yes.
Cool. Stell.
Stella is going to wear a black tunic and trousers similar to what Luke wore in Return of the Jedi, but with silver threads along the borders and the emblem of a weasel on his right breast.
He's got a weasel patch.
You have a weasel patch?
So he's wearing.
Well, it's the same thing he had. It's the same thing he had put on his armor. So.
Is it like the hand from like Game of Thrones?
Yeah, he's got
It's
like a pin of a weasel.
Pin. Can it be a weasel pin?
Can it be a
Sure.
weasel riding on a bird pin?
Sure.
Weasel pin it is. All right.
And because he's Stell, he does have one of his throwing daggers in a boot, hidden, because he is Stell.
Okay.
He has to be himself.
That's my friend Stell.
I have to be me.
And he is going to check with Moro that his bow is going to be, and armor is going to be kept somewhere safe.
You keep him in my quarters.
Yeah, locked.
All right. At some point, Antanas is going to join us.
And he's going to wear pink and purple.
Hello.
He's going to just wear...
He's going to wear a pimp hat.
A pimp hat.
With a feather.
Jacket.
What you talking about?
already.
Yeah, he's wearing armor.
Okay, he's in armor. Apparently.
That has the symbol of Erishkigal all over it.
But he doesn't need to seek favor.
He
of
has
anyone.
the symbol of Erishkigal all over.
Yeah, I don't
You
think
don't
he's
know
seeking
that
favor
yet.
with anybody.
He's going to wear basically black robes. With... House colors again?
Black and red, but
Yeah.
so gold trim or red trim.
With red trim and gold.
I tend to
Blood on the edges.
toward the
And
blacks
gold.
and purples and grays because it goes better with blue.
Blood dripping from the sleeves.
That sounds nice.
Can we see or hear him? I think
I can see him.
We can
Hey,
There he is.
you hear me now?
Hey,
Good.
Just time here.
This is not a Verizon commercial.
Should I turn up my gain?
There you are.
Hey,
there he is.
it's Arteron.
Alright.
to get you caught up there, Antanas, you are wearing black robes with red trim and gold armbands.
Good.
You are basically presenting your evidence of Bellacor's incursion in Serahn to the Council of Nine today.
Sounds great.
You've been instructed to not bring any vestments of war into this council meeting. You are wearing black robes, red trim with gold armbands. Anything else you might be hiding?
If I could only hide my, maul, that'd be great.
That's a little big to hide.
I mean, tell me where you're going to put it.
Yeah.
Up your rear.
Ooh, no.
In my pants.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Is that a mace in your pants?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I am not concealing anything.
Awesome.
Really?
Like a child or a relationship?
I'm not concealing anything.
Or a symbol?
No more.
Oh,
Yorvith, what are you wearing?
I guess
oh.
dark gray tunic, black pants.
Really gray on gray?
Yeah, I like gray.
Yeah, he wants to just
Okay.
wants to
I'm
be
trying
the
to be as
shadow.
clean as I can.
Gray tunic and pants. Are you hiding anything?
No, I've already.
And it's
so
proper.
Are you
Okay.
hiding anything? I'm hiding so many things. But they're not items.
Physically,
Yeah.
mentally. Yeah.
Okay.
He already has dress clothes. He went to a wedding recently.
Okay.
Was
white
it a red wedding?
with black and
A
red?
red wedding.
It doesn't have to be red, but
No, black and
Better red than dead.
That's
Sure.
so fancy.
no color affiliation, so to speak.
Is it in fact a black belt?
Sure,
How many stripes?
maybe.
He's first dan. He's first dan.
And
Are
one
you-
dot.
First dong?
First dan.
Are you
Dong?
hiding anything?
He's got no stripes on his belt.
Are you wearing your mask
That's
or
first
not?
dan.
No,
Okay.
he doesn't wear that anymore.
It doesn't do anything
Doesn't wear the
anymore.
mask
So what's
anymore.
the point?
Yeah, we abandoned that plot line. Thanks, assholes.
I didn't do it.
Whoa.
Blame Lily.
Whoa!
I mean, wait, what?
Okay.
Yeah, blame Lily.
She didn't break your mask.
The
Ooh.
hour passes.
Oh, it probably won't work here. Never mind.
What's that?
I could be holding the wind fan of Kiyoshi. That's what I named it.
Do you wish to have the wind fan of Kiyoshi in your belt?
yeah, why not? I'm sure it's completely useless here.
Okay.
It's in case you get off.
I'm a little hot and bothered. All right. So the hour passes. You have changed clothing as you have specified. That is now, for the sake and purpose of moving forward, what is in your inventory. So should combat break out, any bonuses that you get from your weapons or armor no longer apply. It is just your strength and or dex
And my shoes.
or spell casting modifier.
So one other thing I've got is my ring.
Oh
Put
yeah.
your ring on.
But combat won't break out.
I didn't.
Right, buddy?
I didn't take off my rings.
Okay.
I'm definitely wearing her ring of protection and boots of elven kind still.
Okay. See, these are things I need to know. So you have your ring of prot and boots.
Escaping. Boots of escaping.
Who? What do your rings do?
I have a ring of protection. My
Like father, like daughter.
um,
I'd probably be wearing that ring and amulet I got from Elmark. I don't know what they do yet, though.
I'm torn because I always wear my signet ring.
Well, everybody knows who you are.
I'm representing this house. I'm not
Yeah.
seeking favor from someone else. So I'm wearing my signet ring. They
Signet ring.
shocking know who I am.
Representing.
Represent.
Shocking.
Shocking. What?
How
No.
shocking.
Are you wearing your necklace?
Shocking.
Always wear my necklace.
See, you did not specify
I'm
it.
so sorry. I never
I
take.
literally need
Okay,
to know
I'm wicked
everything
sorry.
you are wearing and taking
I never
with you.
take off Grandma's necklace.
Okay.
I'm wearing my shoes and
Okay.
rings.
Shelfan, is there anything additional that you need to add to your inventory?
Shalfan is totally nude, except for his robes.
So bright white robe,
Light?
with
That is a light on my eyes.
white robe with gold
With
tassels
gold tassels and a
And-
gold belt.
and gold belt.
It is belted shut, right?
Yes, it is.
Thank goodness.
I was gonna say, please don't say nipple tassels.
That's what I thought when he said tassels.
And just to check, are you commando underneath the robe?
Yep.
Commando.
Wow.
Okay.
Now it's a step up from Bemis.
So
Honestly.
silver flute, ring of
There's at least some
protection,
clothing.
boots of elven kind for Laura. Anything else?
She's got her goggles of night up on her head, but not down over her eyes.
I mean, is that going to look like fine clothing?
Don't do it.
No, I guess not. So I'll leave him behind.
The son of a rich girl commands you.
Ram? Ring of the Ram still?
Faja says no. No, the ring of the
Yes.
ring.
Still?
I don't have that.
You don't have that.
No, Artie, you have a ring.
I gave that to Arya.
Which ring are you wearing?
Ring of Blur.
Blur, that's right.
Adara has the ring of the ring.
So, Ring of the Blur, hidden
No,
dagger.
the ring of the ram was thrown away when I stopped being human.
Oh.
That was a good day, Arterar.
That was a
So-
great
It was
day.
the best
That's
day.
it, just the Ring of Blur and the
I love
dagger
that
and the
day.
boot, right?
But
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Arterar, just confirming. Black robes with red trim and gold armbands. Nothing else.
I would really like to have his leather armor be underneath whatever top layer he's
So
wearing.
Mom said no.
Mom
Yeah,
said
Mom-
no vestments of war.
Mother said no armor.
Well, I hope you all going to be standing in front of me.
Okay.
What would your mama say?
Well, I'm not going to be.
Last confirmations. Yorvith, just a gray tunic and pants.
As nice as Yorvith knows how to dress. Pretty much. No
Okay.
equipment.
Commando underneath. Yes,
Yep.
no? Okay, good.
Mora's
Good to know.
always commando.
And
Yeah.
white kimono, black and gold
He is always
base,
commando.
black belt, wind fan and belt, ring and amulet from Elmoric, which you are not attuned to and do not know what they do.
Correct.
But you've been wearing them for a while, haven't you?
I
Or
don't
did
know
you
how
just
long-
put them on?
How long have we been here?
Well, you've been here for a long rest at this point.
So would I know what they do?
You do not know what they do.
Because I'm
Serahn and
assuming
everything does anything here.
It doesn't work. It's, to me, at this point, just jewelry. And much as you wake up with the wedding ring on, you forget that it's there.
And you forget all about Vegas.
Okay. All right.
What happens there stays there,
There you go.
And so
including all the bodies.
I'm just going to say one last time. This is it. Whatever your stats are based off.
All right,
of,
God damn it. I'm having a dagger in my boot, too.
But Arishgagal said no
Mama
vestments
said
All
of
no.
right,
war.
fine. You were just
Yeah, you're not Stell.
parents right
Are
now.
are you sure you want to bring the dagger?
No, I will not bring a dagger.
Okay.
You are throwing all kinds of crazy shit.
Right? You're making us all nervous.
He's supposed to do that.
I don't like it. Make it stop.
All right. So
Like, hey, a flute isn't warlike, but I can still use it.
all right. You return after an hour's time, and oddly, the throne looks as it looked exactly when you left. However, the clothing of those who are clothed, not giant
Because
naked,
Ravan ain't got none.
not giant naked asshole on the right there. But
I'm
everybody
like,
else
hey, looks like you wore your fine robes. No.
do you say that?
No. I'm not stupid.
Everyone else's clothing and attire
I
has
think
changed.
it.
They're all in fine clothing.
You have the expression asshole on your face.
And I need everyone to sort of just make a charisma saving throw, except for Arterar and Moritar. And Laura.
Oh, Laura's cool. Gotcha.
Laura is cool.
What would your mama say?
I will take that natural 19.
Hey, crunchy crunchies.
I've got that song in my head now, Jen.
What is that there, Stel?
It is a total of a 10.
Total of a 10. Awesome.
Did you wear your brown pants?
A woman, baby, back, baby, back, baby.
No,
That woman,
that's,
baby.
that won't be necessary. Yorvith,
17.
17. Charisma save,
19.
19.
11.
An 11. You're good. You're good. You had a 10. For the first time, as you look up at the throne, you see
No.
as,
No. Okay, say that. Start with UC.
for the first time, you see Arishgagal not as a being to be feared or a creature of death like you have seen her in the past. You see
What I see.
a beautiful feline form, adorned in clothing that looks like it was just shaped to her figure, which for the first time you notice is not as scary when it's not in blood-covered armor.
Giggity.
So she's sexy.
She's, I mean, for a feline demon, she's pretty hot.
She's got the double D's.
Hey. Hey.
And you all have failed your Christmas saves. You needed to beat a 21.
That's impossible for me.
Sorry.
Yeah, me too. Well, no, not impossible, but I would have had a crit.
And you're a bit, like, no longer scared of her. You're a little bit, like...
Turned on?
You're kind of like, oh, I got to just adjust a little there.
Still wipes a little drool.
Oh.
You all right, Stout? Stout? You all right?
Wow.
I've been telling you that for all this time.
And I thought Danor thought Mara was hot.
Let's not discuss that anymore.
All right. So she says, fantastic. I see we're ready now.
Mama, clean up nice.
Shall we go then?
Human blood is so moisturizing.
It is. It's great.
Has wonders for my complexion.
She has a great groomer.
Makes me feel like 1,000 again.
Just him posed high.
I want to see that drawn. Jen, you have to draw that.
Yeah,
do all that stuff.
but
It's ridiculous.
It's like Grumpy Cat's face.
Yes.
Posed.
All around her shoulder.
And like
one under tail.
Cindy Crawford from the early 90s body. Oh,
no. Jen, you have to draw this.
Okay. Good DM. Just fantastic. We are ready to go. I love that you muted your mic. Rails. Oh, sway over here. All right. So
if you want sex, Arishka got is triple sex.
Looks out and says, "Let us go." Then. And as she says that, you are in an office building with somebody typing it. It's a receptionist.
Sorry, loud keyboard.
As you recorporealize, you are in an area that feels much like somewhere that is familiar to you, Belfon. It is not, however, it's not like this golden light, and it's not like the darkness of the depths of darkness. Darkness of the depths.
The meeting room in Beetlejuice.
It's more like a gray. And as you look out, Yorvith is completely gone. You just see two eyes floating.
And black pants.
And black pants.
Pants and eyes.
Pants and eyes.
It feels like it's in between worlds.
As you're looking around, you start to see a large table that materializes, and you can't really get. The substance is foreign. Can I get everybody to make a perception or investigation check? Your choice if you want to deeply investigate or if you just want to glance.
29?
On investigation or perception. Perception 29.
16.
16 on...
Investigation.
Okay.
21 perception.
21 perception.
21.
21 on...
Investigation.
Investigation.
So good?
Stealth.
33 on investigation.
Of course.
I got you beat.
It is what I do.
What do you got?
I rolled a nat 20, so I have a 35 investigation.
35 investigation, and Laura?
25 investigation.
Huh.
All right. For anybody who rolled investigation and got above, I think nobody rolled below a 20 on investigation, right? No, you did. You got a 16. But you've been here before, so it's not. You can't really tell what the substance of this table is. It simultaneously looks hard like stone, but organic in a way, like wood. it's a completely foreign substance to all of you, but you can see that it is in some way natural in construction. Though you can't see any seams or graining or any imperfections that you might find in stone. It seems
It's the deep magic, Aslan.
yes.
Yeah.
It's the table that they put Aslan.
Magical mahogany.
But it is a round table. No, King Arthur's not.
To the round table.
We fight whenever we're able.
I've got the Lego version in my head now.
Yes.
And as you are looking at this, for those of you who have rolled perception rolls, you see figures start to come out of the etherealness in the distance. And as they do, you see it's like a rift. On one side, you see adornments that look like subterranean caves, very familiar to you, Yorgith, in your youth. But on the other side of this rift that splits right through the table, you see what looks to be the natural world above ground. You see trees start to appear in the distance. You see mountains and stone in the distance. But they're all, the depth perception of it looks entirely off, right? Like, it looks like it is ages away. And then the next tree that looks like it might be next to it looks almost as if it is right upon you. You feel as though you're in a place where the natural world is not as it seems. You see these figures stepping forward from all sides of the table. And as they do, chairs materialize. And each one is individual and different. I'm not going to describe them in detail unless you would like me to.
They're chairs.
They're chairs.
Can I ask a general question about the chairs?
You can certainly try.
Ask a question.
Do they seem to correspond with anything, any sort of symbols on them?
As they're materializing, you do see in the backs of the chairs, there is what looks to be a place for a signet or symbol to be placed. However, it has not materialized as of yet.
Okay.
You do see Erishkigal is not with you as you materialize, but you see her step forward with Ravan at her right side. And as she walks forward to the center chair on the half circle side of the subterranean side of this rift, you see the symbol of Erishkigal materialize in the chair.
Got it.
It turns into a dark wood.
Covered in blood.
Is that her symbol?
No, that's
Yes.
her symbol, yes.
As it finishes
Soon to be coming
materializing,
as a lovely stained glass art
It
piece
is-
in my workshop.
As soon as
As
the
it
artist
finishes-
gets over his cold.
as soon as she appears and steps forward to the chair, it completely materializes as a dark ebony wood. And the chair pulls from the table.
I was thinking the same thing.
The chair pulls from the table. She steps around it, and she sits in it as it seems to scoot in for her as she sits down.
Ain't that convenient?
Curious.
Directly across from her, you
Mama's
see
the best, I swear.
you see a female human at the center of the Turanian side of the rift. And she is clothed in what looks to be just a very light gray adornments. And she has a large man standing directly behind her. She sits down, and from your perspectives, you cannot really see anything beyond that. An additional 5 deities take the side of the Turanian above ground side of this rift. and an additional 2 come and sit on the subterranean side. And where you guys are on that side, you can clearly make out that the one sitting to Erishkigal's left, it looks to be more of a guttural, like, he's a humanoid, but you can see tusks in his mouth, and you recognize him to be sort of an orcish build. Not a dark orc or a gray orc like you've seen in the Underdark, but more like the orcs you've seen.
We've all fought orcs.
Yeah.
Crow!
Yes, you've all fought orcs. But Yorvith, I was going to call you. Never mind.
Daenor?
Yeah. Yorvith.
Oopsies.
He's closest. You can make out that he's an orc.
You put it in the document.
To the right, I did. To the right, you see another dark elf appear. And you see spiders sort of skitter up alongside, and they form the chair. And it finishes off with a spider pattern. And he sits down in the chair next to Erishkigal to the right. There are also, you see, 3 creatures that appear all behind the deities of darkness. And they're just observing today. And one of them steps forward and whispers in Erishkigal's ear. And she says, "You may have it." And it retreats back, and you see this large male form of a ghost look over at a smaller male form and a smaller female form that are both, all 3 of them are like, you know in Harry Potter, the Dementors?
Dementors.
Kind of like that, but a little bit more translucent.
A little bit creepier.
But creepy.
Cool. Yeah. So there's one really large one. There's a smaller one, and then there's another smaller one that looks a little bit more female, like it has a little slightly different shape and build.
So it has boobs.
Wider at the hips, really nice tush.
Boobs.
Hair, maybe? Is it hair? Is it just ethereal?
Wisps of long
wisping?
hair.
European ghost.
European ghost, yeah. So the large one, like I said, whispers something to Erishkigal.
Sweet nothings.
She turns and says, "You may have it." And it just, yeah. And the other 2 sink away as it ascends.
That was weird.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, man.
What's weird about that?
Friends.
Romans, countrymen.
Let me
Lend me
hear
your
yours.
ears.
She means literally, though.
Here.
We are here today because I have received disturbing news that outside forces wish to take power in Serahn. The reincarnation of my son, Moritar, here, reborn in another world, has adventured with these people you see beside him. And they have come to find evidence of a force known in their land as Be'lakor, who wishes to take power of Serahn for his own. We are here to discuss this matter and to determine appropriate reaction and response. So first I ask, if it pleases the council, will you hear Moritar's tale and allow him and his companions to tell you what it is that they have seen? They all look, and there's some there's some talking. You get the sense that it's not necessarily like nobody on the side of darkness is talking to each other. But you all have used message enough to know that it looks like the dark elf might actually be talking to a strange non-binary wild elf that sits directly across the table from him. So you see, it looks like there's little conversations going on.
All those dice sound like ominous drum rolls.
They really do on this end. They're really loud. It's like, oh.
I'm Spartacus.
No, I am Spartacus.
I'm Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the real Shady.
All right.
What the Slim Shadys are just the imitation.
And so Arish Gagal says, though it is not a unanimous vote, majority has said that the story shall be told. You see one, the large human,
It's the loudest keyboard ever.
stand up, and he walks away, and his chair disappears.
What was he?
A large human.
There was a large human, a human male.
Peace.
That's all you sort of get. Don't use the world building document
I
to
know.
meta
I
it.
know who the peoples are. That's what I was looking. I know who the peoples are. I know who the peoples are. I've been here before.
You've actually never been to a Council of Nine meeting before.
That's not what you said 5 minutes ago.
You know some of them. You may not know this one.
Fine. I don't know.
This is one town you have not slept with everybody in.
I haven't slept with anyone here.
I would hope so.
That's not true. As
Well,
you look to your right,
I meant on the council. I meant on the council. I didn't obviously
Moritar.
mean Kadra.
Moritar. focus.
Focus.
Must focus.
Focus.
Could you please
Do you want me to tell this one?
No.
collect
No.
your companions?
Oh, that would be great.
Collect your companions
Okay.
and retell what you know of this Bellicor and his plans for this world.
Did I just read my mind?
Great. I will give them sort of a brief overview of what I had encountered there and what had happened to me in
Moritar.
Faerun.
Have your friend speak.
I will. I'm just giving them a brief overview, and then I want him to speak because he has the most.
So that you're gonna I'm gonna give you a brief overview.
You need to actually
You don't
say
want to
something,
actually
Jen.
say anything. You just want to like roll for can I speak?
I literally do not have like a speech prepared.
Cool. You don't have to have a speech prepared, but what parts of the story do you just want to give them an overview of who Bellicor is? Like,
No, I just say that I had been resurrected in this other realm,
Faerun.
in Faerun, and somehow got caught up in this whole situation, apparently involving
Knights of Eldermythe.
how much of this are you disclosing?
Bellicor. That is what I'm saying.
So, all right.
So I think Jenny wants you to actually say it.
Right.
Speech.
No, I'm not good at the speech. I'm not good at the speeching. Moro's great at speech. I'm not.
Try.
Or just give me bullet points of what you want to say and roll a d20 and give it a.
Great. So the bullet points are like, I had, after being killed, I had been resurrected in Faerun.
Mhm.
I somehow got pulled together with all these people by an unknown force to try and find and stop Bellicor there. But we have learned that he is not just trying to destroy that realm, but our realm as well.
How did you get from one of the. Maybe.
All right, I'll send you some stuff.
Some things and stuff.
Am I rolling a persuasion or
Performance.
23?
Okay. A female human stands up. Thank you. A female human says, Moritar, how is it that you and your companions were able to get... Sorry, I got to put my female human voice on. Moritar, how is it that you and your companions were able to travel between these realms?
When we were all pulled together in this other realm, Faerun, we came across an artifact that allows us to travel between realms and between times.
Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Ooh, 20.
3.
Wow, plus 11 in persuasion.
Do you have this artifact with you now?
That's what the elf said.
And
damn,
as she says this, Arishkagal looks directly across the table and says, "Do not answer that, my son. This is not what we are here to discuss. Your next representative."
Anaxun.
Are we all standing?
Yeah.
Okay. I will take a bow respectively to the table. Just to save time, I'll kind of bullet point as well. But in a much more flourished way, kind of like my introduction tonight, I will regale them with some history of Be'lakor. He's as old as time, he's this, he's that, and like just build this story up about how evil he is and how he's always been there throughout time, destroying civilizations and conquering worlds in the name of the dark gods, and kind of go over all that fun stuff, and then I'll get to where he has always been kind of in my life. And I'm not sure if he's trying to destroy me directly or if it's just sheer luck, but maybe it's the grace of my mother that I have been spared from his death blow.
Okay.
But he has always been present.
Who's your mama?
Well, they know it.
Go ahead and roll a performance check.
I know who your mama is.
That's
but
a
they
2.
A 2? That's a 20.
Can I nope, there's nothing that I can do that can help you that much.
The orcish figure behind the side of the subterranean side of the table stands up and says, "Well then, solution is easy. We just give him you."
It doesn't.
If that's what he wants.
He wants total power to rule everything. He seeks to
All I heard was you whining about how he's in your life. How he's always there. He's coming to get me, mommy.
This guy.
Let's just give him you.
Yeah, I'm not biting my tongue on that one. I fail to see how that is a solution, and if that is the best that you can come up with, we really don't need your help.
Clearly. And as he says that, he disappears. You're down to 7.
Well, this is going well.
However, as he's talking, you see one of the figures is not actually in a chair. His chair materialized as more of the strange, like,
Feedback?
small table that's really tall, and he's leaning on it. And as you look over, you
Is he
notice
polishing a
that
mug?
he's leaning over on it, and you notice that he's actually a centaur. And it's not Ravan. He is on the side of light.
Good.
And he says he seeks total power.
Total power, total destruction. He knows no other purpose than to dominate.
Like Ravan.
Interesting. As you say that, you look to his left, and there is a small halfling
No.
who steps up on his.
A small, small for a halfling?
He's
or
like 3 feet tall.
That's
He's
how tall
got-
I am.
He's got a little step stool.
So he's average height for a halfling.
Steps up and says, what is it that you think drives him for his desire in total power?
what?
Evil.
What does evil want except to rule with an iron fist?
Not necessarily true.
He looks over at the other side of the table and he says, but the one who brought you here today, does she know?
So she was not the impetus for us to be here today.
I'm sorry, you are?
I'm known as Stell Wolfbane, also known as the Weasel.
Still, I'm Aranath. And it's a female halfling. She looks at you and says, I would love to hear what you have to say, and I can see that you have some very intriguing insights to share. But do please wait until we're done with this one. If that would be okay with you.
As you wish.
Thank you.
Still messages REA, don't screw this up. Kakai, don't screw this up.
He seeks total power, but why? How do you seek to defeat an enemy that you do not know the motives of?
Shocking asshole.
Do I hear that in my head? No.
Yeah, just taunting you in your head while you're trying to talk. What is that? Laura, stop it!
All I know is what I have learned. And what I have learned is that he is as old as time itself. He was created by ancient dark gods to serve as their champion.
So have some of this council.
But he seeks to overthrow them and rule. He does not wish to be subservient to their desires anymore.
He don't understand his place no more.
Like the tide, the ebb and flow of his presence throughout history has come and gone. And he has been pushed back before. We have found relics of his past, stories scribbled on stone of how he decimated entire worlds.
You see the halfling is sort of sat down, and you can just see like the top of her head in her eyes. However, a moon elf on the side of light has stood up and said, tell me more of these tides of chaos that he sows.
I know that he has had great presence in some cultures.
I love presents.
I love presents.
Big bows.
And
Bow guy.
his power is just pure darkness, pure shadow, pure evil, pure anger and hatred. It consumes him, and he uses that of those around him to manipulate them to be his servants and his generals, and he sends them out as tendrils of his dark will.
And he destroys worlds, the natural order of their worlds. And what is left behind?
Nothing but ash.
Voids and weird
one
tentacles.
historian from my village found some research and found some of his old artifacts, but he was then taken by the power of Bellicor and turned. I assume to this day he still serves him as a slave. But some of the things that he found were ancient writings of this force that cannot be defeated.
Yorvith, you see that the Dark Elf is literally just taking notes about what he's saying. That's a good idea.
This white,
This seems great. I'm going to do
this
this
white
later.
dude's got this great story.
Do you have anything else to tell us?
I implore each of you, if you have the ability to peer into my mind, to just see everything that I know. There are so many things that I can say.
I don't want
There's
those-
plenty of room
I
in
don't want,
there.
I don't want y'all looking at my
The Moon
mind.
Elf looks
There's
at
plenty
you.
of room in there
The Moon Elf looks at you and says,
Hey.
"We've been doing
in him.
but the mind is a funny thing.
The terrible thing to
offer-
waste.
It is easy for creatures of the mortal world to bend their own memories and their own perception to what they think versus what is true.
But
What
the
you
last,
see as history is through the lens of your eyes, not the lens of the world.
She totally has a point.
This is a dude, by the way.
Oh, he totally has a
He
point.
totally has a point.
He's a
Yeah,
moon
I mean,
He's a little
really.
androgynous, not nearly like the one that's like literally porcelain skin.
Stell's trying to avoid nodding, but he totally agrees with this.
Uh-huh. All right.
Elves, man. Elves.
Thank you for sharing what you have with me.
I do see your point. However, being witness to his destruction and path of rage my entire life.
This.
Yes.
Avocado.
They call it the mark of chaos. Actually, that symbol right there.
Thank you for sharing. You see the drow locks eyes with you.
Oh boy.
Hi.
And he just stares at you and occasionally shakes his head and has a very devious smile on his face.
Not surprised about that either.
So you're the one summoning my sister.
He says, I have no question. Do you?
Me?
Yes.
Stell looks really worried.
What is the average ass feet of a
No, not.
What is your favorite color?
No, blue.
Clearly gray.
Clearly blue.
Blue is the best color.
No, red and black.
Blue.
Red
No, you
and
don't, do you?
Black and gold. Black and gold.
But a hatred.
But of what?
A hatred.
A hatred?
Yes. There's anger as you look at me.
We've kind of gotten him killed a few times.
That's not what I'm sensing.
He doesn't like other drow.
That's it.
How
You like other drow?
Well, that sucks for you, buddy.
Why have
Stell is just giving Yorvith a look like, dude, just say it.
Why have
Get
you
on
turned
with
your
it.
back on your people?
Just admit
That is
it.
my only question for you.
Frankly, my people turn their back on me. So I am of no people. I'm just me. I don't affiliate myself with any race. I do what I can. Just because
Yorvis.
I'm a drow doesn't mean I'm a...
He is strong.
Yorvis, you do know who your friends are, though, right?
Yes. That's
Tell
why
him that. Tell him that.
I'm just saying because everywhere I've been looked at as what drow are usually looked at, but I've made, friends. I've done things I wish I could take back. But
why?
You've done incredibly
And
good
some
things, too.
in some establishments that he's
But
glad he can't.
I've done some things that,
Friends in low places.
I'm not proud of, but I would do it again.
Maybe
You can't-
by the end of today.
Just maybe.
My loyalties lie to this group of people standing around me right now, and it will always stand with them. And that is all I have to say.
That's all I've got to say about that.
So,
But you've said so much. Maybe by the end of all of this, maybe you'll have another you can count as an ally.
everyone hopes for something, right?
Right?
The halfling stands back up on her stool. It says, Stelbon?
That's Stell.
I laugh.
Why?
I can't help it. I laugh.
Use the name that I use.
Finally.
It's polite.
Okay.
Just as I would ask what you would prefer to be called.
Generally, it's polite to use someone's full name still.
Can I ask instead, why do you hide who you are?
That is not who I am. That is who I was. That is who my parents wanted me to be. I am not
You wish
that person anymore.
And why?
Because time changes us mortals. We are not eternal. We have to choose what we want to do for our lives. We do not have that dictated to us by our very natures. We have free will, and my free will says what I am. And I am the weasel, not the name that you said.
Intriguing. Tell me what you've learned.
What I've learned?
How much
Yes.
time you got?
I'll tell you what I've learned. I've learned that the world needs heroes. The world needs to be people that will help make it a better place for those who come after us, those who have no ability to do it for themselves, and those who do not even understand what foes need to be fought against. Some of us have things that we need to do, things that we need to protect, a future that needs to be better than it is today. That is who I am.
And how do you make that future better than it is today? With
I work to make the world a better place by fighting the things that would destroy it, the things that would prevent those who come from after us from having their own choices in their lives.
Are there not things that we might learn from those things, though?
There are always things to learn, but my goal is to try to make the world a better place. And with the insight that you clearly have, you know exactly why I'm saying that. Do you want me to say it out loud?
Do you want to say it out loud?
Yeah.
I'm doing it for my daughter.
What?
The Weasel, it is a pleasure to meet you. And I believe you will make this world better.
That is the only thing that I desire. Still really needs a drink after that.
I
Meanwhile,
messaged Stell, are you okay?
Am I the only one here
Fine.
with kids?
meanwhile,
Hey.
the dark elf is just sitting
Why do you
there
look at me? You know I do.
stroking his goatee. He's just,
Stell actually makes a note of that and says, "This is my friend. He has saved my life."
yes.
As have many others here.
You and I should maybe speak. Finally, the non-binary sort of like this just gorgeous porcelain skinned elf stands up and looks at Shelfon.
Jelly, they've got eyes on you.
We got eyes on target.
Red 2 standing by.
As you can tell, I am not like my friends.
I don't know what though. That's just rude.
Actually, you kind of are.
I can take
Red 3
and
standing
become
by.
many forms. Whatever form would suit you, I could become.
Wait, what?
But
Phrasing, Shelly.
I believe on purpose. Can you rephrase that?
Literally standing there like,
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Right?
Yeah.
Phrasing, Shelly, phrasing.
Call me who you must.
Since
you must know. Call me Shalfan. Call me Bemis.
anytime.
Call me Vund. Call me Pelavek. Call me Senau.
I will do that.
Senau.
No, I will call you senile.
Call me any of those. I answer to one. I only answer to the light. I am here.
And stop.
Yes.
Come with me in the other room. Okay.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Bum bum.
I actually met Alex Trebek once.
You really?
Actually, no. Eric met him. I was in the hospital bed next to him.
What?
He was having surgery on his hand, and so was I.
All that buzzer pushing.
And so was I. And I could hear him talking over there, so I just said hi.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, our doctor, we had the same doctor, the same hand doctor.
Hmm.
When you spoke
Touching.
to him, did you speak in the
Form of a question. Is it okay?
Eric actually chatted for quite some time with his wife.
Oh, yeah.
And I complained to my doctor that I wasn't going to be home in time to watch Jeopardy, and he laughed.
Oh, nice.
Because my doctor was like 8 hours behind.
Yeah, that's on time.
It was bad enough that I hadn't eaten anything from like the night before until like 5 p.m. And they ended up having to give me like a glucose drip so that I wouldn't like pass
secret
out.
session had to happen for that one.
Oh,
Ah.
secrets.
And as you were saying,
I got a secret.
Secret Santa?
Santa.
and a smile just comes over the porcelain-skinned elf's face, and she sits down. He sits down.
They sit down.
I always get caught up on that.
It's tough, yeah. Well, the problem is you can't say HIR verbally.
Yeah.
Here? No, that's not a thing.
No, it is a thing.
No, but that's not.
It is,
how do
but
you-
it's not.
No.
It's just hard to say verbally.
It's a hard verbal.
So most of them say they.
Yeah. So, and they sit down after smiling.
Because they're bees.
Do you have anything else to tell us before we deliberate on what we must do? Is there anything that any of you are holding up that you wish to be truthful with now in front of this council? and your companions.
I just know that we need to act rather quickly.
Agreed.
Many of us, saw visions of what might be.
What are you drinking?
No.
Only after.
I had entirely sobered up.
The drinking came after.
Yeah, the drinking was in response to that.
And these visions foretold of
We
Death.
saw this individual laying waste to.
Actually, can I make a history check to remember the heads that Bellicor is holding? I remember one.
Oh, let's not talk about that.
But are there others?
No, 7.
no, you don't remember.
I mean, these are all very clearly memorable people. So
People that you're looking at right now?
yeah.
But you've never met them before.
But
Um,
no, if in that vision of
Do I remember what I saw?
You most certainly remember seeing a certain particular.
I know I saw one. I probably shut down after that one.
Yeah, that's
Great,
pretty
yeah,
much
okay.
where you're at, unless you have a nat 20.
No, I mean if it's history, I have a 21. But
So the reality here is that we know that they're going to destroy at least one of this company. And the implication from that is imbalance and potential destruction for the rest of you
The halfling
from the visions.
and says, "But we are a council of 9, and when one falls, another will rise."
And who will rise? Think about that for a minute before you choose to allow that potential future to come to pass. Is that the best choice for everybody here?
My understanding was that there was a threat to this council and to the world. Now you say there is a threat to one of the council?
That we're aware of.
Well, that's very different.
We are after all mortal.
I know how the succession of that family works. So
We've talked about the asshole brother enough that you know that he's next.
But the threat isn't just to this one individual. The threat is to all of us and all of Serahn and all of Faerun.
And the truth is that, yeah, correct. The threat is to our entire world as well.
Realm, but to other realms as well.
It won't stop at one.
Okay. Roll persuasion checks.
And I will say, if one is destroyed in combat, is it not the custom of everyone else, of the person who won the combat, to assume that mantle?
That is.
So he will not share power. He will destroy one, assume that power, and then he will go after all of the other power.
There will be no council. There will just be him.
Only
27.
Okay.
In his wake.
My persuasion is 15.
Yeah, I don't persuade.
Okay.
Nope.
He wants to destroy everything. And while my vision that I saw did not pertain to everyone, I think that we were shown visions that were directed toward us. To try and unnerve each of us individually.
The female human stands up and says, "We must understand this threat a bit more. We must understand. You tell us that if it were to take a place on this council by destroying one of its members, it would use that as a vehicle. Do you think that the power that it would assume from destroying one would be enough to overtake the rest of us?"
If it has the power to destroy one, it has the power to destroy many.
But maybe there's an opportunity for a coalition. Is there dissent among you?
We do not all agree.
Duh, there's Descent.
On all things, as you can see, two have left our presence already. I'm quite surprised, to be honest, and please forgive me for saying so, that as many of us are here to this point. You have failed to present. You have presented a threat to one. You have failed to demonstrate how this threat is a threat to the world.
But is it worth investigating?
Clearly. For the sake of the person you are, for the one that you seek to protect.
It is not just
some of us have no power in this world and cannot assist with investigating this.
So you seek power within Serahn.
We seek to be able to act here as effectively as we would in our own world. No more.
To defend this realm from the threat.
Not just one.
Just as this world might fall, so would Faerun.
The entire realm is at risk. Our visions do not just pertain to one of this council, but to this individual laying waste to all of Serahn.
And all of every world across the multiverse.
We've traveled through many times.
That is true.
Generations. And the one common being that that's continued to harass us through time has been Be'lakor.
And his servants.
And his servants, yes.
He has the combined might of numerous dark gods whose names I do not know, for they are too old. And if he can defeat one on the council, he will defeat all. He does not share power. He will use you as a tool. You might think you are safe, but then he will take your power and consume it for his own greed and lust. He seeks enough power to overthrow his old masters.
The centaur looks over at you and says, in battle, when you are not able to muster the strength you need, you seek alliances. Are you saying that this Be'lakor is looking for an alliance?
He's looking for total domination.
Only as a stepping stone to overthrow it and assume its power.
But this is how great generals, how great warriors win.
Great warriors don't actually destroy their own armies after they take over their enemies.
He cares for nothing but power.
The only reason a warrior is alive is to fight, and the only reason a warrior fights is to win. And with that notion, he will consume all in order to win.
The centaur sort of steps back and arches his back and does the thing I do a lot about this time of night. And then you see him pick up a small glass and he has a sip of something.
Is it Dick Lightning?
It is not Dick Lightning. Dick Lightning. The halfling female gets up on her stool and looks across the table to you, Stel.
She gets up on her soapbox.
And she says,
I wish I had a soapbox to stand on.
Another short joke.
You have a soapbox to stand on.
See what we can do.
do you, in fact, do that?
No. I really want to give him something to stand on.
I'm not going to stand on the table.
Yeah, she's standing. She has it's essentially a box.
I'm
like
gonna give him a box to stand on.
Yeah?
Yep.
Initiative.
He's blending. I want him to be able to speak to
No,
people.
he's blending.
I want him to be able to be heard.
Gray.
As you go to cast, you
A beanie.
literally your arms just suck in,
Goodness.
and you stop, and I will take care of his needs one at a time. And Stell, you just levitate.
I messaged her
jeez.
back. Thank you very much, Mother.
Don't really like the levitation thing.
Now you're elevated, Stell.
Oh yeah, that's great.
As you think
Really
this to
great.
Molitar and are messaging back and forth, a little box appears underneath you, and the levitation drops. It's like about 1.5 inches off, so you just kind of fall into it.
But of course, Dex of 20.
Yeah, you're fine. You've got
it's
that.
not me falling 2 inches.
Yeah.
Most people would be thrilled to be elevated by a deity.
Yeah, not so much Stell.
Stell the Weasel, I have a question for you.
What is your question?
You seek the ability and power to defend multiple worlds, multiple realms, as you call them.
Multiverse.
What else is in your heart? You wish to prove yourself to your daughter.
Not exactly.
You wish to prove your worth in your daughter's life.
I wish to make the world a better place
For her.
for her to live in. I don't wish to take any hardship away from her that might face her, except that which is in my destiny to destroy.
And with this power you seek, would you give it up
Of course.
once the battle was over?
Absolutely. Power is only useful for a purpose. Without a purpose, there's no need for it.
In front of you, a book
The purpose
appears.
is that I'm awesome
It's
and
just-
I like power. No.
A small tome appears in front of you. She says, "Then you must take this. And when you are done with it, you must return it to me."
And is there a price beyond that?
I offer it freely.
Ooh.
Then I accept your terms. Still reaches out.
Okay. On its cover of the book, it's a leather book cover, and it's leather. It's not human skin.
Aww.
Ah,
It's a halfling.
it's halfling skin then.
It's demon skin.
You can see engraved on, sort of like carved into the leather is it looks like a map. And there's a small continent in the upper right-hand corner. There's a large continent that comes down the center, and sort of a smaller, medium-ish size continent towards the bottom right of the cover.
Do I recognize this map?
You have never seen a landmass that looks like this before, or a map that looks anything like this. It's completely foreign to you.
Is it written by that dude in Luskin?
I begin to look through the book because Stella is always curious about books.
As you open the book, the first page is blank.
It says go to Serahn. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
You're not past go.
We're sorry, your princess is
As
in
you
another
focus
castle.
on it, I need you to make an intelligence check. Not a save, just a check.
Just check. So proficiency bonus only. Or no, just intelligence bonus only.
Just your intelligence bonus, unless, yeah, that's it.
All right. Do you need to see it?
You tell me what it is, and I'll tell you if I
It
need.
is an 18.
I believe you.
I rolled a 13, and I have a +5 to intelligence.
You read, you look at the blank page, and you see words form. And at first, the script is not a script that you recognize easily, but the words come into your mind as you're reading through this. and it says, enclosed in these pages is the knowledge and gifts of Arena.
Can you spell that?
Arenaf. S-F-H.
What?
Pick some letters.
Arenaf.
Arenah.
H.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
Arena. Okay.
Sorry. Arenath.
TH. Spelling is hard.
Tomorrow we'll work on numbers.
That's what I just said.
Tonight's episode brought to you by the letters
THC.
THC.
Let's not. Bemis. Shalfan. As you see Stel grab the book, his hands wrap.
Stel doesn't grab the book. Stel takes the book.
You see Stel take the book.
Unless you did it
As he rips it out of the air. No, as he takes the book.
Gentleman fondles the spawn.
He opens the cover, and as he does, you see light just erupt from the book. And once again, you are surrounded in light, and that porcelain skin elf is looking at you. And in your mind, you hear them say, "Our powers are now together as they should be. Your light and my light shall be the light of Serahn.
Captain
And your world, Faerun. Your presence here honors us."
I am on its tree.
And you're back at the table again, sort of in the darkness area. Cool.
Cool tools.
The centaur says, Anaxum, Red Sea, Kokai,
Avocado face.
Captain Avocado.
There's the
Wow, boy.
That's not a name I answer.
got one.
I see the deeds you have done, the battles you have fought, and the steadfast belief in the actions of war you have taken for the betterment of the world you seek to protect.
It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Indeed. In order for you to be a warrior in Serahn, you'll need more than just the help of your mother.
Do not believe her power extends here.
Mama.
I believe it does.
Not the mama.
Not in the way
Not
that
the
you expect. What I offer you is guidance in finding that power here. On one term and one term only.
What is it?
When you have finished this battle, you will train warriors and teach them not only the ways of war that you are so familiar with, also garden.
What?
The garden. You see like a smile come across the centaur's face as he says it.
I will smirk as well.
Because he likes the hose.
Thinking of a bonsai tree.
Ho, ho, ho.
He likes the hose.
This gift I grant you is for this battle only.
I understand. And that is all I require. I seek not power for personal gain. Only to defeat Bellicor.
We'll do so in the name of Sovrog.
Can you spell it
Let's
20
play it.
times?
Let's play a game.
TSOV.
Start again.
TSOVROG.
TSOVROG. Okay.
Sovrog.
That's
So, Rog.
So, frog.
It was
So grog.
Gore bust. Backwards. Listen, guy.
See, I always envy people in books because they can hear spelling.
That's it. My alignment's not good anymore. It's evil. Get over here. Someone give me a
Yes!
weapon.
You know, I'm sorry, REA, but your alignment was always kind of on the edge.
A blade's edge.
Oh, I'm definitely
No.
good now.
Yeah, I'm super good.
Super good
I'm super good. Just ask anybody. I'm not.
you see the dark elf stand. And the spiders skitter away as the chair dematerializes.
Can I get one of them?
You see them, they're actually skittering towards you. What are you gonna do?
I'll stand still because.
Can he get that in grenade launcher form?
What the
Spider
the spider
launcher?
thing?
In Destiny, there's a grenade launcher where you shoot it and it
Little
explodes
spider.
into these little spiders that seek out an enemy and then boom.
I don't like that.
Ever.
So the spiders actually literally
Not at
swarm
all.
around you. And they start wrapping up and they're crawling up your body. What are you gonna
I'm
do?
pretty sure that was on a "Will you press this button" thing that I read the other day. Ultimate power, but you have to have spiders all over you.
I was all about the one you sent me. I was like, yes, I will press the
They're
button.
literally they're
Now, the one I said to Maura was, "Will you press this button if you get the ability to cast Fireball, but 30 minutes later you have explosive diarrhea?"
100% worth it. It's worth
So it's
it.
Fireball, then Stinking Cloud.
Which is also flammable.
spiders crawling up your neck. What's your face?
Ew!
But this is really ridiculous.
Are you gonna swat it away?
No.
All right, it crawls up and into your mouth.
Ew. Oh, you never watched
That's
Salem.
gross.
No.
Do you try to pick it out?
Yes.
There's no spider there.
Oh, fun.
I'm crazy. Welcome to Crazy Town. Population, you.
Well, that was
Take me to crazy town.
butterfly thing you did that one time.
Take me to-
Hey, Jen, I could use some of that.
There you go.
That was a nice echo.
So
Yeah, I think I need a refill.
I can see the spiders on me.
Oh, I mean, you can feel them.
Okay. I'll just shake a little bit. Try to get
Firebrand.
some off.
Firebrand.
Just stay right there.
I might as well deal with it then.
Uh,
Are you fighting it?
it
Gasoline.
seems appropriate.
All right,
Map.
two more crawl up your neck and are making their way to your mouth.
I think I saw this in The Mummy.
I'm just gonna try to.
I think they
Wait,
As you push them away, they're not there.
All right, then I'll just, do a pat down.
All right.
The spider pattern.
Aren't spiders kind of the drow thing?
The dark elf looks at you.
Not if they crawl in your mouth.
That's how you get the power.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Wait. The moment the drow crawl in your mouth?
Spiders.
No, that's
Oh,
different.
spiders.
You don't want that. Hey,
The
I'm
drow
not
crawling
about
you
that.
about
Oh.
that's a different game.
Yep.
That's a totally different
Did you
situation.
say the moment the drow crap in your mouth?
No,
Crawl. You can crawl.
somebody didn't push the button.
Hi, Internet. This is us normally.
All right.
Just poop jokes, guys.
Yeah.
All the inappropriate.
It wouldn't be D&D if it weren't for poop jokes.
Yep.
Spiders are still crawling their way up. You're kind of just patting them away, and the drow is
Let
just
them
laughing.
come.
I'm really glad that's not me.
I
You've
set
got,
this
like,
whole
5
room
of
on
them now
fire.
coming up around your neck.
Oh my
You better burn down the entire world. That's the only way to solve it. I always said that in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, if I'd been the one to save him from reaching through all the bugs, Indiana Jones would have died.
Yeah. Bye, Andy.
Sorry, bye.
Sorry, Dr. Jones.
Still have spiders crawling up your face, coming at your mouth.
Take a chomp out of one.
I hear they're
They
delicious.
try to bite it.
Just let it. Just open your mouth. Just let it. Just let it happen.
So it starts
Just let
to
it
crawl into
happen.
your mouth, and you bite it, and it disappears as you chew on it.
Just let it go.
Have you seen Scorpion King with the rock?
Oh, when he's
He's buried up to here in sand, and there's like fire ants crawling all over him. So he's like, and he's like trying to bite him and then spit him out.
Spiders coming at your mouth.
other than this?
So,
Just like smirking. So
player pro tip for DMs: when the DM asks you what your worst fears are, don't write them down.
My worst fears are you.
They will be used against
I
you.
need that from my game, by the way.
Yeah.
Jen, check your phone.
It's definitely not spiders.
Puppies and kittens.
Just kind of
He likes spiders.
pisses you off when they crawl in your mouth.
more spiders heading towards your mouth.
What do you want from me?
Protein.
Just
There's
let
like
it happen.
3 of them just crawling at your mouth.
Just let it happen, Yorvis. Let it happen. It's all good.
I'm just gonna smile at him.
You smile back.
Yes.
Okay, you put a big toothy grin, and they just crawl in, and you can feel them on your tongue. And as they start to go down your throat, they just sort of turn into nothingness.
I hope they're radioactive.
All of them.
He's going to be Spider-Man.
What?
Right?
Go, Web, go.
Yeah, just sort of stop. He's like,
Spider-Man now.
he looks at you and he says,
Spider-Pat.
Now I know
Radioactive Spider-Pat.
Why
you
what?
have left the drow of the old world. And he disappears.
That makes one of us.
Does he disappear from the table? So
He's completely gone.
He's completely gone.
More council time.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
wow.
batting 1,000, guys.
So there's only 6 council people on the table?
There are 2 left.
2 left. Okay.
There is a female human who you have spoken to, who actually spoke to a few of you, who sits across the table directly from Arishkagal. And there is a male half-moon elf who had previously been speaking to you. Yes, please. I apologize, Internet, but bacon cheddar
Moon
ranch.
elves, guys. Moon
Pretty good.
elves.
Do you wish to try to speak to either of them?
We saw me standing alone.
The chief stands alone.
No. Shouldn't.
Just pull out your spider and look at it longingly.
I left it on my own.
All right. The female human stands up and says, I think what you need to find, you need to find forgiveness.
Find forgiveness.
That's what I sense.
Or
What drives you, Dorothy?
what drives me?
Besides REA, the game night.
I was forming Mitsubishi
Subaru
in my
Baja?
head.
What? A Subaru Baja.
The Baja.
What about a Baja?
That has for a car.
Sweet.
That's my
They
favorite.
should bring the Baja back.
It's too long.
Brat. Brat's number 2.
Rat would be.
What is it you seek in life?
He wants it to be quiet uptown.
To be honest with you, I didn't know hardly anything of this Bellacore when I first met my friends
Aren't you
here.
so lucky you met us?
And I've seen, you know, when I was first with the group, I didn't know if I believed any of it myself, but seeing what drives them, the things they've been through, the things I've heard they've gone through, and they're willing to do
The
anything
tentacles we've
for
seen.
it. No matter what happens in the end, I know that everyone needs a home to fight for.
And what if Bellicor is in fact only fighting for his home?
Well, we're all fighting for ours.
And when you dispatch him, will you be able to forgive him the atrocities he has committed?
I don't know. Something I would have to. I couldn't say for sure until that would happen. And I don't think anybody really could. But like I said, this group drives me, and as I said before, you know, I don't affiliate myself with a certain race or whatever, because I believe that, you know, race and blood make people related, but loyalty makes people family. This is what I am currently fighting for.
Yorvith,
Yes.
speak about what we have shared.
I'm getting to that. Because
This sounds awkward.
Moritar, shut the fuck up.
I have meta knowledge. It's not that bad.
Before I
Oh, I
met
have
this
meta
group,
knowledge. I just Laura doesn't know.
I mainly traveled the world alone because, I mean, look at me.
I'm a loner,
It's hard
Daddy.
to
A
get
rebel.
anywhere, but I met this group, and actually, I'd say probably the fourth day that I knew them. I saw it as another adventure. Fourth day, very short, I died. And they found it in themselves to bring me back to life, save me. So, you know, I have that to fight for. And then before, well, there was that one point in time where we were separated for 2 years. And probably one of the two people, I gestured towards Stell, probably trusted me the least. We ended up stuck together for 2 years, having to rely on each other to get through finding the rest of the group or whatever it was. And he saved me at, you know, many times during this. And I stood up for him at many points. So I think...
Didn't just stand up.
Well, I don't like to brag.
There's no bragging about it. It's the truth. I would not be standing here today if you hadn't saved my life at least twice, if not more.
And I would definitely say the same towards Stell.
So as you look
Summoning
up,
goes wrong.
as you look up, the female human is no longer there. But you sense that there is the Half Moon Elf. And he looks at you and says, could you step over here for a moment?
Step into my
Yes.
office, young man.
Correct. I will go over you. I swear.
Companionship, the friendship that you have built with these adventurers, is part of the natural order of all worlds. We do not survive alone.
Duh.
And those of us who seek to destroy all, be alone. will not survive as well. Consider exploring the order of the natural world. And in doing so, you will find my gift, should you wish to take it.
Yes.
There is much of this world that you have yet to learn. Seek it out and explore.
I will.
And you will find your power there. And in me.
Thank you.
As the council all sort of looks at who's left, you all take stock, and 4 of the 9 have left. But fortunately, 4 did not. And that's all you needed.
Oh, God, that sucked.
It's like more stressful than dice rolling, right? I just gotta convince a god to give us some power.
That's totally that's not difficult. They hand that shit out like candy.
They kind of do to clerics.
That's why I was being sarcastic.
It doesn't help when most of us are agnostic or atheists.
There's the challenge.
So,
I don't know why.
Arishkagal says, we will keep you apprised of their findings, and should the rest of the council wish to return on this matter and speak, then we will apprise them of their findings as well. This meeting is adjourned. And everything just sort of... It's like one of those weird movie scenes where you just like sucked away from what's in the foreground really quick. It just goes to like smoke and cloud. And then you guys are all literally standing exactly where you were in the audience chamber in the throne room of Arishkagal. Well,
that went all right, I suppose.
It would be good to have some more allegiances, but I'm not surprised some who have not.
Well, I would say some would probably be expected.
You friends with that orc?
He and I don't always see eye to eye.
Oh, good. That dude was a pussy.
Even among mortals, there are often disagreements.
Honest to God, cat jokes. Really.
Yeah, no cat joke.
Cat joke. No, female anatomy joke.
Doubly bad.
You are so going to be smoked.
Would you going to smite you? You want to be smoten?
He's going to be a smitten kitten.
He and I often see each other as unnecessary.
He's unnecessary.
My realm would more than be able to handle what his realm supposedly does. But I wish no more power. I wish no more war.
War.
What is it good for?
I would suggest that you, now that you have found power with Serahn, that you find out, that you investigate how this Bellicor is going to actually get to Serahn.
I have a book to read.
Have an artifact.
Yes, we've discussed it before.
Which allows you to travel here.
He has no doubt collected many artifacts.
So here's the thing that confuses me is that I think he was after our artifact.
What was that to keep us from using it?
I think it was for him to use it.
Huh.
Perhaps a little bit of both. I'm not entirely sure, but
Ours affords us the ability to travel through time. He might have something that allows him to travel.
But what and how?
I'm pretty sure we've kind of gotten the idea that he wants what we have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't doubt that, because if
Roll
he
history
had,
check.
That was why I was fucking rezzed. Over
He
that.
kind of said that.
You recall that Vorthus, pretty much as he was monologuing in death, you got the idea that
Before he was killed
again.
Dead.
the whole like killing Moritar, transporting some of his remains and
only the best parts
and belongings to Faerun as they were no longer animate.
hold on,
Wait.
that raises a question. Pun intended. Was Moritar reconstituted from the best part?
That's my nightmare.
And tune in for the after show when we wrap up all those loose ends. No. So
Well, it's loose now.
So
I need a pulling thread.
Moro
Yes.
bits and my necklace.
Can we focus? Can we focus? You do recall that the whole scheme to get Moritar to face Vorthus was so that they had the opportunity to kill Moritar, gather his remains, and create this being that was supposed to go to another realm, that was supposed to be raised in another realm to retrieve the bell.
And that's the being that we see, but that plan fell through.
And that was why Mara was fooled into thinking that she could get Moritar back, and thus our first visit to Serahn.
But that turned out all right in the end.
Kinda, mostly.
I mean, well,
Yeah.
It's a demonic possession.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked.
And
out
Vorthus
well.
did kind of die.
The truth about Mara, and I wouldn't say that it was necessarily a bad trip.
Oh, I'm thankful to be here. I can know that much.
Hey, all right.
Well, that was after.
Yes, this is trip number 2.
Um,
Number 1, where we saw Vorthus die 3 ways.
Which was kind of cool.
So good.
I have zero doubts that he seeks the power of the bell, because with that, he could just go back to the beginning and shape history countless
That's
times.
why we've tried so hard to not let that fall into his hands.
And I totally get that. What I'm saying is, it's entirely possible he has something that could get him here.
But how do we discover that?
Anaxun, yes.
Yes.
And
There is no known
Soon.
power to transmit living material between these realms that you know. My understanding is this is why Vorthus destroyed
He's
my
dead.
son.
But I'm here.
To be reborn in another realm. To become an elder, what you call
Knight of
it?
Eldermythe.
Sure.
Sure.
Sounds good.
I'll listen. I'll tell them.
Whatever he said.
Whatever you said.
Because this power that you wield is not something that's... It is not just the ability to move through time and to move through locations and It is the ability to move through existence.
It's true. We can come here.
I've got the best worst idea ever.
Oh God, please no.
What else was there?
You eat the bell so he can't get it.
That's
No.
terrible.
I mean, that's the best worst idea.
No, that's the worst idea.
Is that we go? No, because that would fuck up everything.
Speak, Mara.
No, my really bad idea was we go back to when he came about, and we end him then.
I'm not even convinced that there was oxygen back then.
Who needs to breathe?
What's oxygen?
Right.
See, I told you, bad idea, because then it messes up everything else. Or does it? Because I don't think time works that way. That would be a great way to find out.
The awful thing about everything we've experienced is we still don't know how time works.
Branches.
If time worked that way, Moritar, that way you're saying. If you went back and stopped.
No, we wouldn't stop every instance of him.
Would not the instance that we seek to stop today still exist?
You have a
We
valid
would already be gone.
I would not exist if it were not for
None of us would exist.
I would.
We wouldn't have been brought together.
True, that's true.
We wouldn't have fought what we fought. So assuming that new timelines are created every single time we make a change in history, we can't go back in time and fix this.
I prefaced my statement
That sounds
by
like
saying
witchcraft.
it was a bad idea.
So we need to find out where and where he is now.
We have to figure out where and when to go to in order to end him.
Well,
Yes?
I think that requires some study.
Agreed.
And I got a book to read.
I don't think that any of that information is located within my library.
Yeah, but I kind of have a new book here, so I'd at least like to read it first.
Do you have any thoughts?
This is your enemy. I do not know him.
So let's take some time and think about this then.
Okay, I do have one concern.
Yes, Laura.
I
Your new
understand-
name? Yes.
Yes, I understand that the others can now use their abilities here.
Well, we don't know that.
You understand that they have sought power from others who maybe make them feel a bit more comfortable. They have powers from others so that it is not just my vengeance that is invested in what you seek to do.
vengeance is great.
Ask your question.
Beautiful,
child.
beautiful vengeance.
Will you grant me the same?
Sweetie, you were born with everything you need to survive in Serahn.
Maybe she's born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
You have had all you need from the moment you were conceived.
It's in your blood.
Lucky.
Blood.
Blood.
Laura kind of grins at Morotar. Thanks to you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. You're welcome.
We are dead soon.
What can I say? Dead soon. Dead soon.
Life goes on.
Not if
for
we're dead.
us.
Life in general.
She looks at you and she says, but do not worry. I will assist you with the vengeance you seek. Though I will tell you, that power you need to seek that vengeance, you have also always had. It's your birth. You just need to learn to channel it
I do have much to learn.
and be strong enough to use that which you are called. You are a magnificent creature.
That's not something I'm used to being told.
Well, start getting used to it.
Oh my.
Bow, bow.
As she says this, her full battle gear just reappears as she sits on the throne.
And anybody that had a boner lost it.
Yes.
That was a tuck and run kind of situation.
I swear this has never happened before.
Why do you think I wear the bag?
Like I jumped into a cold pool.
Shrinkage.
On the other hand, Laura's standing there going, damn, she's magnificent.
She is, isn't she?
All right, so what do you guys want to do?
I think I need to read this book.
Okay.
I'll try what she tried. I picture my armor returning.
She just looks at you and smiles. And was like,
You look constipated. You don't have any of
Do you need to poop?
She spins her hand and you're back in your armor.
Woo, it worked. Oh, that was you.
Do you wish to go back to my quarters to read?
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
Stell. I asked no vestments of war or combat.
It's an eating knife.
It's an eating knife? You're totally lying to my mom.
Oh, through his teeth.
Eating knife.
What could go wrong? I mean, it's not like she's a deity. She doesn't know what the fuck.
Look, I am who I am.
And it is a surprise to me that Aranath has bestowed the gift to you, and that Aquamak did not take further interest into you. When I ask to leave your weapons behind, please do as I say. We are lucky that they did not look into the jewelry you're all wearing and the power that it contains.
Or maybe they did.
I always wear my signet ring.
And still understood what we represent.
You have to understand the Council of Nine. We are all immortal deities. But when we come to this table, they are the most vulnerable.
One thing to keep in mind, as mortals, we're always vulnerable.
Yes.
To gods.
Yes.
So imagine then, if you will, that does not exist. But for a moment it does.
So
imagine someone has the opportunity to strike you down from your immortality and take that which is yours.
And imagine that those who have the ability to do so don't choose to do it.
And that
think about that.
Is why you are still alive.
Right. Exactly. You know that because of your daughter or your son and your daughters, how we would act in such a situation. So you knew that there was no risk to you.
I do. But if anyone else at that table?
It's very clear to me that those at that table have many of the same powers that you had, or they wouldn't have known that name. So the chances that they didn't know that there was a knife in my boot are none. And yet, so my point here is you have great power and great knowledge, and I respect that. But every being in all the worlds has something to learn about choice and restraint.
And in choice and restraint, you chose to not heed my wish.
I did. Correct.
And while you see no issue, that everybody there probably knew you have a boot knife. And it's no problem. You are not the one who has to live with the consequences of your choice.
I actually am the one who has to live with the consequences of my choice if everybody knew that.
No, I am the one that will have to live with the consequences of your choice. Because I brought a mortal to the table of 9 who held in his possession the ability to strike down one of the 9.
And chose not to. Which actually says more, in my view.
About you, but not about me.
So then I think maybe the lesson here is trust.
Yes, trust me when I tell you. Don't bring war and combat.
And trust me when I say that I never fight unless there's a reason to.
I do, or you would not be standing here in your skin.
Right. Then we understand each other.
You do not understand the choice you have made for me.
I do.
You do.
I do. I understand the position I put you in.
That I have continued to be in. You think this is over? That's your
No, I don't. I think that
no,
you now know something about me.
As do the rest of the people at that
Right.
time.
Exactly.
As they assume. You do not understand how fragile the balance of that table is.
Oh, no, I totally understand that. That conversation was very clear.
Place. It concerns.
I know he is your companion, but I ask that he is not to stay in my home. He clearly does not understand the gravity of the choice he made.
That's totally fair.
I have brought people into the Council of 9. They have trusted me. And though nothing was said today, his choice will carry weight for centuries. Political alliances and trust that I have worked to build.
Fragile alliances.
Very.
My apologies.
Please be calm. The rest of you are welcome to stay.
Right. I must ask, would someone like Bellicor be able to get to the table?
If he finds his way to Serahn, the only way he can get to the table is either in the company of one of the Greater-Deities of Serahn, as you have today, or by taking the place of one of the Greater-Deities of Serahn, as your friend Stell had the opportunity to do today.
And didn't.
If he ever gains access there, he could strike down anyone who were to be there with him.
This is correct.
That might be his plan eventually, to take everyone down.
Well, I don't intend to go there ever again.
If he was seen as a threat, he would not be. We would not meet at the table. The table is neutral ground, where we are at where we are our weakest. Where even we immortals could see death. You understand now the gravity of your choice.
Say yes.
I understand. I understand that that's the same gravity the rest of us live with our entire lives. All the time.
Have a little extra gravity.
And you seek to...
I'm not apologizing. I'm just telling you how I feel. So banish me to the surface wherever. I will go wherever I need to go, and I will continue to do what I need to do to help save the worlds. And that includes you, because you're part of those things.
It's been good to see you again. Will Kadra be staying with us?
Probably.
Marrakesh? Laura?
That is up to them.
Very well. Laura, will you be venturing forth with your father, or would you wish to stay with us?
I will stay with my father.
Marrakesh just sort of holds her abdomen and says,
You should stay.
I don't think I have the time to venture.
You should
Father.
stay.
You should stay.
I will stay with our child and protect her.
And I will protect her outside of here.
Be well, my promised.
Be well.
What are you guys gonna do?
Well, I guess we have to get out of here because
And now I gotta find a fucking place to bring Stell.
You know stuff about the surface, so let's go there.
Yeah, it sucks up there. Better here.
So, choices that you have to make. It's not just going to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
There are two planes of existence in Serahn,
Mm-hmm.
which some of you have sort of already started to figure out. There is the immortal plane, which you are currently on,
Right.
and there is the mortal plane. And there are above ground and subterranean areas in both planes of existence. So the questions you have to ask are you going to try to stay in the mortal plane? Or are you going to traverse to the mortal plane?
I don't like the mortal plane.
So meta.
You know
meta
this
Jen.
world, Jen, so.
Meta?
Yeah, but I don't know where the frack we have to go to find and stop Bellicor.
You've got to have some place that we can go, at least in the immediate time, to study, think, rest.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
here's the problem.
I mean, can we turn Vorthus's castle into our clubhouse for a little while?
Like, I'm picturing Pee-wee's Playhouse.
You know, just change the grades, sweep up the dust a little bit.
Scrape the scales
Yeah,
off.
I think. I mean, Moro.
Yeah.
Also, really, Jen. So in the 2 years that we were kind of, killing humans,
As you know, you do.
like you do.
Clearly not on the immortal plane.
No, we were on the mortal.
Right. So I'd love to meta at some point know more from you about the mortal plane. So
Okay.
I can make
Noxman?
some more decisions. Yeah,
Noxman
as
is
it is.
a moon elf.
Which is
city.
where you were held up.
Right, but we ventured out.
We ventured to all sorts of places, but I wasn't. I'd love to be, because I'm wondering, like, the idea of going into Vorthus's castle isn't a bad idea. Establishing a stronghold is probably not a bad idea for us.
But does he have other forces there?
Well, I don't know about there, but the bottom line of my line of questioning is there any other place in Noxvan where we could establish a stronghold and maybe raise an army?
I mean, there are places in Noxvan that we could go, but here's the issue. Is that we have a human with us.
Don't we have a hat that makes him look like something else?
I do.
I don't like humans. There's a war. There's been a war. Might be over. Probably not. Thought it was.
Guys, this is the
we can disguise him.
This is the Brotherhood of the Traveling Disguise Hat. Like,
yeah, we could totally give him ears and horns and blue skin.
Horns. He just needs to look like an elf or
whatever. We between Arterar and myself, we can do that.
Right. Give me a disguise kit. I can dress him up real fancy.
Yeah, I have a disguise kit.
No.
Why not?
We totally have the cosplay covered.
Fan should not cover who he is.
He probably should too.
I will not cover who I am.
He probably should.
Now, Xiaofan needs to roll around in the mud for a little while with that bright thing he's got going on.
So here's the thing. I'm not sure where we could go that everyone would be welcome.
Someplace private.
So so far you've covered Noxvan. Obviously, the human element of Onyxun would be a difficult sell on the Moon Elves.
Right.
There's a Moon Elf versus human war that has been raging on and off for centuries.
However, whereas you and Arterar are the slayer of many humans, we are your allies, and if you are welcome in such places, you should be able to simply vouch for us.
I think we could pull that off.
Probably have a pretty highly renewed faith in Orishka Gal and her life companion.
That's fair.
So there's that.
Probably be.
Orthus's castle, which is again on the mortal plane, but in the subterranean levels of the mortal plane. You could go there. You could check out if, there's also an entire world to
here's the one benefit, upside, good idea about going to Vorthus's stronghold is that he was working with Be'lakor in some way.
There might be clues.
So there may be information there about him.
We did leave kind of quickly.
Yeah, I was a little focused on things. Sorry. You can't blame me.
All I need is someplace private to read for a bit.
Yeah, it was gonna be my quarters, but now it's not.
Somebody had to.
Like you didn't know that there was going to be some disagreement between me and your mother.
I was kind of hoping that there wouldn't be. I was really hoping, still.
We are kind of very different people.
That is.
I mean, one's
so
a half
true.
people, one's a cat people.
Quarter of a man.
All right.
Well,
There's also an entire world to explore. There are 3 continents.
Yes.
With
nobody
knows
going
anything
to
about
Humansville.
except for you and a little bit of knowledge in Arterar about
And
Noxvan.
there is kind of a map on the front of this book.
Yes, take a look at the map.
Should we go conquer another?
Does this look familiar, Moritar?
Look
It's a map of the mortal realm.
On the front.
Just take the whole
It's a map of the mortal realm.
Well, then let's get somewhere where I can read this book and figure something out about it. Pick someplace. You know this world the best.
Really?
Make a choice.
Markings on that map?
I feel like we could start in.
You're not touching my map.
You're touching it.
Want to touch it? I just asked, are there any markings on it?
Wait. So before we go anywhere, I need to go get my shit in my quarters.
Obviously.
As Moritar says this, you look and he's wearing his battle gear.
Yeah, I
Fully decked out in your
my
shit.
gear as well.
Yeah, I kind of need my shit as well.
As you are all saying this, it's just literally appearing on you.
I love. See, this is why I love home. I really do.
Well, that was convenient.
Then pick a spot, Moritar.
Do you want? Should we go to Noxman?
Wherever we can take some time to
My favorite.
study.
Watch this.
Should I?
2 mugs of beer. Yes.
Really something good came out of this. Let's go to Knoxville.
What?
What was that?
Wherever we go, you should advise me if I should disguise myself at all.
You shouldn't
Some
need
point.
to there. You look like you would fit in well enough.
Yes,
All
the
right.
rest of us are the problem.
Yeah. Some of us are a bigger
Some of us
problem than others, Stell.
That is true.
Big things come in small packages.
Oh,
Side laugh.
Big problems, small packages.
no. When you say things like that, you make me very curious.
How curious.
Oh, how curious.
All right.
How curious.
It's super curious.
Yeah, you'll have to ask Amaranth.
Spell it out.
Wait, no.
Stell wiggles his eyebrows at Ivy.
Right now. Amaranth. The problem is when I go to the store and they're like, here's this loaf of bread. It contains amaranth. And I laugh. Every time. I take pictures of it and I send it to him. Look at
She does too.
waffles made with amaranth. Oh, that sounds terrible. I'm going to buy them.
Feed them to Jason.
Look what I'm having for breakfast.
I'm eating your character's lover.
So what are you guys doing?
I'm the worst person
I
ever.
believe we're heading.
Jen, pick a place.
Let's go to
How are you
Knoxville.
getting to Knoxville?
Knoxville it is.
We go to
Just wiggle your nose.
room and go to the
Too late.
temple. Back to the temple? I don't know.
Sure.
That's all I got.
That's what you're gonna do.
That's what I got, I guess. Unless
Okay.
anybody's got any better ideas. That's all I got.
Why would I have better ideas? I've never even been here before.
Yeah, most of us have only been here once, and we weren't really in control of ourselves at the time.
And only Arterar has been on the mortal plane with me.
Right. So
Yep.
it's up to you.
No, you've all been on the mortal plane. You were in the mortal plane.
Right.
When we killed those
Well,
humans.
in the subterranean part of the mortal plane.
Right.
They've never been on the surface. Arterar.
Did we feel when we were talking to the deities, like us, for example, did we feel like we had to go to a place here to kind of find some kind of attunement to use our powers in Serahn? Or these are
Explore.
just boons that are.
Explore the natural world.
I got a book.
Mm-hmm.
Really anxious to read it.
I mean, let's go. There were places that we were staying because we stayed.
You're gonna have to
in-
give me a couple days.
Yeah.
We stayed in Knoxville for a while. So
I expect you to write every word, Eric.
Yeah.
we can go
Maybe.
to the surface. We can go to Knoxville, and we can go to where we had been staying previously when we were there. And
Just don't tell me that it's Twilight.
Tact.
Sparkles.
When you got it.
Sparkles. Twilight Sparkles.
Where did you and Twilight Sparkles get attacked?
in the temple, there was some sort of skirmish.
That does not sparkle.
Rainbow.
That infuriates me, is what that is. But it had been quiet in the town for a while.
Do you remember, did they walk in or did they teleport in suddenly?
I got sucked away, and then I came back, and they were there.
Bunch of shocking.
Okay, here's what went down, right? Okay. We were in the temple, and then Sunak was born, and then we heard shit going outside, and we turned to try to figure out what that was, and we got fucking pulled away by the voice again.
So they didn't teleport in.
I don't know.
At least not into your presence.
Outside, so
They were outside.
They walked in. I was going to say something really not nice.
So there's some level of warning if there is an attack, assuming that some things are similar. At any rate, pick a spot, Moritar.
Great. Let's go to Noxman, and then we will go to where we were staying before, and we'll take some time to read. We can try to figure our plan of attack out.
You can kind of get in touch with your inner centaur.
Wait, what?
Yorvith can do whatever with
I don't have
whatever.
Let's just be clear.
No, I'm talking to Anaxun.
Has definitely never had a centaur inside him.
That we know of.
Never.
Giggity.
Giggity.
There's some
Brothers and sisters in that family.
Family giggity.
You are pushing your luck today, Scout.
It is Real Housewives of the underworld.
You are so pushing your luck.
There is the mini we haven't used today. All right. You guys start. Oh yeah, Moro had a fling with Nemian. No, that's not one.
Shall I ask Nimrak?
So moving on.
What else goes on in that family?
Teleportation room. Let's bring it in a little
And then
bit.
I strangle Stell.
Why, you little?
Yeah, totally like Homer and Bart situation.
We make our way to the teleportation room.
You make your way to the teleportation room. As you get to the entrance, Ravan is standing in the entrance.
I mean, if you want to talk about how attractive members of the family are, that Kaya girl was kind of cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
You say that?
Please don't.
Did you say that, Laura?
Yes.
Ravan just looks down at you as you come around the corner. It's kind of like one of those, like, that guy girl was kind of cute.
Oh, shit!
You speak the truth. It is one attractive family.
That is actually completely not in dispute in the slightest.
What? That's
that the entire family is good looking.
Except
I mean, seriously.
Really good looking.
I mean,
except maybe a couple.
I mean, let's role play for a moment, Jason, okay?
Really ridiculously good looking.
You are a heterosexual halfling man.
Yeah, they're all good looking.
There's really not a whole lot on this platter that's that appealing until Mama went into her fine clothing.
Mara.
Well, Mara's
Kadra
fairly attractive.
Yeah, I mean, I blame it on Daenor, but there was a bit of still in the attraction at least.
Yeah. So maybe to the more moon elf.
Yeah.
But Kaya is brown and furry and looks a hell of a lot like Mama.
She might be good to pet.
Oh boy.
You are all over the place tonight.
Yeah, see, this is empty.
You're in rare form.
Let's insult Mama and pat the
There's
sister.
a giant
It's
freaking
great.
centaur standing in your way to walk into the teleportation room. What would you like
May
to
we
do?
pass, my four-legged friends?
Oh God.
Fire my friend.
Oh, he has four.
Yes, yes.
All right. Game over. Game over.
Giggity.
Pass.
Game over. Game over, man.
Wait, well, I'm just asking if we can pass.
Hopefully you will pass soon.
Ooh.
I think he means through his intestinal tract.
That was a death joke.
I totally laugh.
I
I can't help it. I don't want to, but I do.
My friend, I've passed, and I've come back. And I will do again.
Montezuma's revenge.
I feel like you're giving him an invitation.
Protect these friends.
I've passed and I've come back, and I will again.
With the plunger of justice, it will stay flushed.
You wanna-
We came all the way around to the poop jokes again.
Circular.
Full circle. That was like 3 hours ago that we said we weren't going to make poop jokes, and then we did.
Full circle.
Clockwise or counterclockwise?
I don't think it matters.
He just
Oh
looks
my god.
some strange little pathetic creature in his mind.
Ravon.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping he would. But well, that's good.
Where do you go?
At this point, our plan is to go to Knoxman.
Fine. He steps aside and lets you in. Do you remember how to work this one?
Do I?
Roll
Arcane?
check or an arcane check.
They're the same.
No, don't screw it up, check.
26.
Oh yeah, you totally remember what runes you need to activate and what order.
I'm like, fuck this shit. Of course I know.
And the teleportation circle is now glowing. And is everybody jumping in? Please.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Hold hands to my eye.
Teleportation
Moro
circle.
goes in and is like, beep,
And-
boop, boop, beep, boop, beep.
That's a touchstone, by
Yeah.
the way.
It's a Stargate.
That's a Stargate, by the way. You guys are pulled into.
Simon?
Yeah, I was just gonna
You
say
are-
Curtis sequence.
The teleportation gate that is behind the throne area of the Noxman temple to Erishkigal. Ahead of you, you know, is the room that
Yep.
the attack happened in.
I would like to head out and then head to
Make like a baby and head out.
Yep.
make a baby, and that happened last time we were here.
Make like a banana and peel.
Oh, banana.
So,
No bananas.
what would you like to do?
banana, squid
crowd
banana.
off of the rails.
Whatever Moritar says.
We are heading to
adventurers of the non-railroaded path.
It's really late, Eric. We've become slap happy.
It's not that late, actually. It's 11. It's about right about when we.
Yeah, this is like 2 hours past my bedtime.
Oh, me too.
Oh.
Go an hour.
You arrive.
Hour.
You're
Okay, maybe a
in.
half hour.
You're in the teleportation gate room.
I would like to leave that room
Okay.
and then head out into the town and go to. I don't know if we were staying at like a homestead or I don't.
Cool.
Or a
You head
tavern,
out.
an inn, like
Like a
where
baby,
we were.
you head out. You come out into the throne area, and I need to know everybody's. What are you guys doing as you exit? I need to know. DMs need to know these things.
Keeping my eyes open for potential threats.
That works for me. What's your passive perception again?
Passive perception is 21.
Mine's that minus 10.
You see a shadowy form on the right-hand side of the room as you exit. Looks to be carrying a large tome. It catches sight of you looking at it, and
Do I recognize?
I need everybody to roll initiative next time.
Okay.
At the beginning of next session of Disciples of Eldermythe. Eldermythe.
Just to
Can you spell that?
Yeah.
it's like Britney Spears in that South Park episode.
Yeah. It's like a Murloc.
All
That
new
doesn't sound like
spells
anything.
are now open to you. If you wish, you can substitute up to the inverse number. Right? So,
What?
so whatever your highest
Okay.
level spell slot is, you can do 1. Whatever your second highest spell level slot is, you can do 2. Right? You can do that many, you can substitute that many spells
Yep.
for the newly available spells. So like if you want pretty much all new level 1 spells, you could probably make that happen.
So we're not restricted by a current class on spells, but the same amount.
You are
But
currently restricted
Okay.
by your class.
But
Right.
there are new spells.
But
that
there are
came
new
out.
spells that came out that you're now have access to.
okay, you're gonna have to clarify that independently.
Yes, please.
You still have spells to your class.
Right.
But new
There
spells
are
came
new
out in like
spells that came out
Xanthars
in
or whatever.
Xanathars that were not
Okay,
yet.
great. Yeah, that was something that I was hoping for.
I don't have Xanathar's guide.
I don't have
Because you
access.
were powered by a deity of.
Yep.
Lura would have had them because your power comes from a deity of Serahn as well. You had them because you were powered by a deity of Serahn. The rest
Literally
of you
powered by.
Like father, like daughter, right?
did not have that until today, so those spells are now open
You're
to you.
welcome.
You can, as I said, you can replace up to the invert, right? So if you have a level 7 spell slot and a level 1 spell slot, you can replace 1 level 7 and 7 level 1s.
Okay.
And then 2 level 6 and 6 level 2,
Oh my god, it's so confusing.
right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
There's only a couple.
3 level 5.
I'm gonna have to buy Xanathar's book.
I don't have access to that, so I have no idea.
You don't have to take them. I'm just saying if you want to take them, they are available.
Well, I am curious to find out what they are.
I'm sure
Yeah.
there's somewhere.
Yeah, there's at least a spell list.
We have the book, so I can
Let's talk in Discord.
Yeah, we'll bring that all up in Discord. Also, if you guys have any questions about, sort of where you are, the deities that you've made deals with or have made deals with you, or have granted you some power, some sense of power, by all means, hit me up in a PM on Discord. If you've tuned in all night, first of all, I'm sorry.
There were some good moments tonight.
Sometimes we have these really goofy nights, and they're a hell of a lot of fun for us. Maybe they're not fun to watch for you. Maybe they are. I don't know.
Some nights float, some nights sink.
At any rate, if you did
Some nights in the upper deck.
If you did join us and enjoyed what you saw, thank you. We'll be back in a couple weeks. If you didn't enjoy what you saw, I hope you are enjoying the first hour of the new Critical Role campaign. Thank you. And yeah, I guess that's all we got for tonight. I'm going to sneak over here to this technology.
Goodbye, Internet.
Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.